we're getting along like gangbusters. We're talking up a storm, but we're not talking about fighting. We're just talking about the event and, you know, what he's doing and how he likes WME. You know, I need an agent, so I'm talking. Oh, here we go. And the guy goes, oh, man, I'm going to be in LA. You got to come to LA and meet me. Please send me an email. You got to come to LA and meet me. I was like, oh, cool, man. Well, he's going, we got an event at Staples Center. Oh, shit. WME Endeavor, IMGs, man, they like, yeah, I got it. Yo, I'm in the belly. I completely skipped the UFC. I got my hand on the wellspring, the font of all. He goes, yeah, you got to come to LA. We're going to do this big thing at Staples Center. I'll get you in, you get good seats. Oh, you won't believe it. I go, oh, man, what is it? He goes, PBR. I go, PBR, you Pabst Blue Ribbon? He goes, professional bull riding. Cue clown music. Now the preamble was, I am the fight guy nonpareil. That's me. Not interested in any other sport, but fighting. Knew the fighting, wrote the book, the whole thing on HarperCollins, this fight book, the whole thing. I'm the guy. And he invites me to this thing that he's really excited about. Really, beyond all else. He's flying out from New York office to LA office because he's excited about it. Is it the thing you just spent $4.2 billion on? Nope. It's professional bull riding.
What up, everybody, and welcome back to the Sound of Violence podcast. We are a podcast about MMA podcasts. Each week, we let you know the shows you should catch, skip, and can't miss, as well as we try and check out a new show. I'm going to apologize ahead of time for it being so echoey because I'm in the middle of moving, and this room is empty as shit. I'm Pulver, and I'm here with my co-host, Chris Madaffer. What up, dude?
Just kidding.
You can vouch for how empty this room is, and that's why it's so echoey.
Yeah, and I kind of wish you kept. It was funny, everyone. You'll never hear this, but right when you press record, I did like some weird, like quick yawn, like
yeah.
And, just
it was awkward.
Yeah, I tried to emulate that, but it's not genuine when you just try to.
Yeah, no, you can't redo it. And also, speaking of awkward, that clip on our intro from Eugene S. Robinson. I'll talk about the podcast that he did, the Eugene S. Robinson Show Stomper version 26, a bit later. But oh boy!
So when I think of professional bull riding, I kind of expect someone to get knocked into a coma.
I think of Pabst Blue Ribbon.
I'm thinking of like the guys in Spain who are supposed to die, but I feel like it's still cruelty either way. So if you get
they're still sawing off horns and caging
so
motherfuckers.
It's like I'm still cheering for the bull.
Oh, always
in each one.
Always.
So
if there's a bull inside of a ring, I'm cheering for the bull.
Yeah.
Unless it becomes a hockey team named the Bulls, then maybe not.
That too.
Yeah. That's a rink, not a ring.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I was never a fan of Ball Bull from Tyson's Punch-Out. Anyway, we're getting off topic. We will get into topic here in a second, but we should shout out our sponsors. First, I do want to give a shout out to the sponsor that is, we should say, of course, our Pawpaw Vodka presents, Doug Stanhope presents our sponsors. The number one that we never shout out is MMAPodcast.com, which is fucking fantastic, and it's half the reason this show is able to exist. Which, by the way, did you notice it was down all week? Or for like 3/4 of the week?
I noticed when I first checked on it...
that Chael's episode was up for like 4 days?
Well, I saw they had uploaded a bunch of stuff from like UFC 225, like from 3 or 4 weeks ago.
It was that, and then it just stopped updating. Like, the individual show pages would update, but the actual main page wouldn't update. Luckily, your boy went and hit up the guy who runs it, and I got it restarted. Oh, nice. He said he implemented a new script, so you're welcome. As Chael Sonnen would say, ironically enough, whose show with Joel was posted for like 4 days. But luckily that's up and running again. The other sponsors we wanted to shout out, you picked up the weird Guinness beer. What is that? Irish Wheat?
It's an Irish Wheat. It's their...
Hef?
It's their half of Weizen.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I think
it's totally okay. And then me, in honor of us being in San Diego, Alliance MMA loving Thorn Brewing, and Thorn Brewing sending out an Instagram pic cheering on Jeremy Stevens this weekend.
That's the thing. Like, I've never been there, unfortunately.
I don't think I have
feel
either.
like I almost kind of want to stalk Alliance when they go there, just so I can see them and like buy someone a beer.
I think if you just go to Alliance on a Friday, you see them.
Probably Friday, yeah. Friday or Saturday would probably be.
Or like whatever day they're. Yeah, well, Angie ain't gonna be anywhere near anything beer wise because she's cutting weight. But yeah, I feel like if you go there sometime next week, 50-50 you see Jeremy Stevens, depending on how this fight goes. So.
Oh, 100%.
So, cool to see them shouting him out. And this is, which one is this?
It's some
Tropic
IPA,
Days
right?
or Mystic Gnome?
Which one is it?
No, wait. That's just all the... It's just an IPA, I think.
It says something, it says Far, Far Away, Got Nelson. It's just like... Oh, it's okay. It's an essential series of rotating IPAs, it looks like. It says right here...
Which one was this?
The different color 6-pack topper indicates which one you're drinking.
Black.
So black. So it's Mystic
Topper
Gnome.
is the thing on top,
Yeah,
right?
so it looks like it's Mystic Gnome.
All right.
It's in black?
Then we're drinking Mystic Gnome. Wait, or unless they mean the topper of the 6-pack, in which case we're drinking Got Nelson. Wait, I can tell you by tasting this if it's Nelson.
Oh, it's white. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Nelson.
It's the Nelson.
It's delicious. It actually reminds me a decent amount of Nelson from Alpine, but a little bit cleaner. Because Nelson from Alpine got... I don't know. Alpine is weird depending on whether you get it bottle or fresh or all that.
Yeah, this is real good.
It's real tasty, right? I am pretty hyped about it. So if you guys are over in San Diego, shouts out to John Jones, who's about to come down to San Diego. Not the fighter.
Yeah, Catman.
Yeah.
John Jones.
I sent him a bunch of recommendations of places to go. Said to go to Stone, go to Society, go to... What was the other two? Oh, Creole Cafe and some other food place. I forget. Anyway. But those are our sponsors for this week. Also, shouts out to Judo Bill Tyler, who may be a future sponsor, just because he's on a road trip right now. And if he ends up pulling together his top 5 road trip podcasts while he's on his road trip to, I don't know, some national park or something with his family, we are totally going to pimp that because he said he saved up a bunch of podcasts for the trip. So that should be fun. I hope that dude's having fun because he's a super nice guy. But we will go ahead and get into format and stop talking about Doug Stanhope and Popov vodka like we tend to do. So why don't, Chris, you start us off with the podcast you think people should catch this week?
So I have multiple catches. The other one I'll get to later. I'll get to one now. I actually do have a skip and a can't miss. So this time,
wow.
you guys, it's not just like a shitload of catches, which kind of seems just the usual common.
It happens sometimes, man. Sometimes there's just a bunch of shows that you're like, all these are good, but nothing stands out as good or bad.
So the first one was mostly the MMA Hour. I liked how Luke, the kind of questions Luke asked this week, they're really solid. They were interesting, like the way he kind of answered his questions, and I'll get to it in a sec what I mean. First off, I write, of course, his co-host in the morning, Danny Segura. So I'll just say right now, Hamburg sucked.
Yeah.
And here's a catch, you guys. Speaking of catches, I saw 0 fights of the Hamburg card. So if you expect any insight or input from me, I'm just going to pretty much be listening to what Chris has to say.
Also, my recap of that card, which we'll get to briefly in the second segment, I'm not gonna have a lot of insight either, considering I did watch it, and oh my god, was that long?
So this is what I like. Luke said first off, his wife fell asleep during the card.
Understandably,
the card was 7 hours long.
I wanted to,
which is like the third,
more than that. I think it was like
7.5. I think it was the third longest card ever.
Yeah, it was rough.
That's impressive in a bad way.
It was the pacing more than
said,
the fights.
If you liken this to kind of an analogy of being served good food at a restaurant, this whole card was like being served banquet food.
Yeah.
He's like, not saying all banquet food's bad, but think about if you have to make a shitload of food for 1,000 people, it's not going to be consistently good.
Which shouts out to Creole Cafe, which I mentioned earlier, that I think serves like 4 or 5 tables at a time. No, maybe like 6 tables at a time. So, shouts out to good small quantity restaurants and shit. But
he went straight to the main event, which to him, and I think you'll agree in the second segment, was
Yep.
the only interesting part of the card.
And there was like moments here and there, but boy, was there a lot of
He
just
thinks
long.
Anthony Smith is like a guy who shouldn't be taking fights on a whim, but it also shows he's just down to throw down. He's down to scrap, and then you kind of respect it in a lot of fighters, especially someone who goes up in weight, which clearly has worked out for him so far.
This beer's really good.
Yeah, it's really good. He says it takes a while for some fighters to figure out the best weight for them. Kind of look at the example from Demetrius Johnson, who, by the way, is 14-2 at bantamweight.
Yeah, Lucas. Yeah. Oh wait, what are you talking about, Chris? Fucking.
Oh,
Brendan
right.
Schaub told me that
was so upsetting. What
Brendan
was that, 2
Schaub
weeks
told
ago
me
you
that
said that, or was that
he's
last week?
the only time he moved up, he lost to Dominic Cruz. So what does that tell you?
The interview with Dustin Poirier is really cool. He basically talks about his patience in fights compared to when he was a featherweight. Before, he would just kind of just be aggressive at first and not really kind of wait to see what his opponent has to do.
And you can see that too
his boxing is really good lately.
Well, and his jiu-jitsu and top game has gotten very strong for being an ATT, with especially working with Eve so much.
And what he talked about too, and I haven't seen this documentary, and I still hope it's on Netflix or streaming service.
It's around,
called
yeah.
Fightville.
I think it was YouTube originally.
He talked about that briefly. He also talked about he has his own nonprofit foundation or organization that he started called the Good Fight Foundation. What he does, he auctions off old used fight kits, basically that you kind of just don't realize that you collect throughout your fights. And the donations and the proceeds go to multiple charities, whether it's creating school supplies and backpacks for kids, feeding the homeless, or furniture for people who've lost furniture in like natural disasters. Because he's still based out of Lafayette, Louisiana, and I thought that was really cool, kind of hearing him talk about it, what he does with his wife.
Super cool. And they've been auctioning off fight kits for a bit, even before that, where you like all the proceeds would go to all the proceeds would either go to like whatever school needed help or whatever fire station or whatever neighbor or stuff like that.
What was crazy is Luke said, "Hey man, so in that fight against Gaethje, how was your leg feeling?"
Oh, that was cool to hear, yeah.
He said he had a small tear in his quad and a sprained MCL after all the checked leg kicks and unchecked leg kicks. And he said that was not fun fighting that dude. I don't think anyone wants to fight Gaethje as far as the fun factor.
No.
He asked him, he's like, I'll ask you right now, who wins between, BK and Khabib or Tony and BK?
Oh my God.
They have to ask.
BK talk is back in fashion, like always.
He was realistic. He was like saying, if I beat Eddie, I deserve the next shot only if BK doesn't come back. Or he thinks Tony would deserve a shot before him, saying just look at his body work.
That's fair, yeah.
He's very respectful in that. He thinks Khabib, by the way, beats BK just based on he doesn't think... Yeah, I'm done talking about that. Anyways... Kevin Lee was on the program. He did the Monday Morning Analyst, which is entertaining over Skype.
Fantastic and funny as always.
He talked about his trip to Asia, where he was in 6 countries over 6 weeks. I follow him on social media on Instagram. It was fun.
He did the Ari Shaffir, minus losing your phone.
Yeah, it was fun watching him eat.
And banging little boys.
Yeah, and minus that. Jesus.
That's a recurring bit on his own on Punch Drunk Sports, his other podcast, but yeah.
Yeah, where he'll just spontaneously whip out his dick.
That is the one. I've seen that dude's balls too many times.
So yeah, it was funny. I remember this video where Kevin tries that fruit. I can't remember what it was called.
Durian fruit.
Where he's like, I'm excited. Like he's like, it looks juicy. Yeah. And he puts his mouth and says, oh God.
It smells like shit. Like literally smells like
Kevin
shit.
said Japan was his favorite place. Just the culture of it, the hospitality, how welcoming the Japanese are. He talks about his experience being on the desk at FS1 and how nerve-wracking that shit was. I can imagine.
Yeah.
He analyzes, in his view, Poirier versus Eddie Alvarez II. Thinks Eddie's more conditioned for 5 rounds, but Eddie needs to be more methodical with attacking the lead leg. But he thinks Eddie is too much of an old dog. Obviously, he kind of, mentions how historical his resume is. Obviously, what Eddie's done.
Eddie's been fighting forever.
He gives him a lot of props.
Which Eddie talks about later on the show. How he fought in fucking Bodog in Costa Rica back in the day with no commission.
What else was he in? He's in Bellator 1. Wasn't he in Dream 1?
Yeah, he was in Dream, Bellator.
Dream, yeah.
He's been in like 18 organizations.
So that was my first catch.
Yeah, it was a great episode.
Shouts out to the Amber Lamps.
That's right, the Amber Lamps is coming. I guess Chris OD'd during the last segment where he was describing Luke Thomas. He must have gotten a hold of some yellow mustard or something, R.I.P. So we'll move on without Chris. My catch is Punch Kick Chill. Punch Kick Chill is a podcast.
So let me ask you this.
Oh, wait, Chris is back from the dead!
I know. He just gave me an adrenaline shot. You're good.
Oh, you got Uma Thurman.
Yes, thank you. So on Punch Kick Chill, did they have edibles or how high are they?
They're very high. I don't think it's edible high. I think they're just smoking shitloads of weed.
I mean, I don't do edibles since again because I just shake and get anxiety like a motherfucker.
Right. Well, also based on how fucking amped.
So they just kind of like catatonic high. Like,
no, I think they're on. I think they both smoke sativas based on. I know. Well, let me put it this way.
Because I feel like you have to smoke a sativa if you're still going to be able to fucking try to do a podcast.
Well, I smoked an indica today. I'm doing all right. Well, it's a hybrid, to be fair. Shouts out to... Here, I'll shout it out.
I like that brand. I like that brand, though. What is that brand called again? I have that.
This is called Blue Goo.
No, but like, what's the company? Because I have like that same jar.
Oh, it's Flow Canna.
Yes, I like the Flow
out of Humboldt,
yeah,
which is like one of 4 places they can even sell you weed nowadays, which fucking sucks. I don't know if you know about this new rule in California, where you can't. Growers have to be certified. Yeah, shit got expensive. Now it's like $70.
That reminds me too. Not saying we're trying to get distracted on weed talk.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw it's a very very conservative state just legalized medical weed. Fuck.
I didn't see that.
I have to look it up. And like I was like surprised. Like what?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, evidently in.
Alabama.
Oh, there you go.
I think medical weed.
That's pretty good.
And even more surprising, the United Kingdom medical marijuana.
About time. Yeah. They've been doing medical opium forever.
Yeah.
Or not medical, but like, quote unquote,
yeah.
like detox opium. Anyway, way off topic.
So yeah, they were really high. So what did they discuss?
Right. So first off, I don't know that Jason even smokes weed. I assume Jason smokes weed. But Justin Golightly for sure smokes hella weed. I'm guessing sativa is based on how amped that dude is all the time. I'm a huge Justin Golightly fan, if for nothing else than his, what is it? Jeff Harrower, Jeff Harrower Transdimensional EA Sport. No, it's the EA Sports Open Weight Jeff Harrower Transdimensional Tournament. Is what they call it. Where they have Mighty Mouse fighting Stefan Struve and shit, and Jeff Harrower, the EA devs, hanging out in the chat. Anyway, so they're smoking hella weed, and it's essentially a fight companion podcast, but they do it for single fights at a time. This one was for Baroni versus Minowaman at Bushido 7, and there's so many good parts to this, I almost don't even want to spoil it. Let's just put it this way. They open talking about whether they're a podcast. They're like, so what we're trying to say is Punch Kick Chill isn't necessarily a podcast. We're really more of a dream journal.
I like that.
Then they start talking about the jacket guy, Andrew Dice Clay. That's what they refer to him as.
I fucked them.
There's a lot of quotes along the lines of, I don't understand where Phil Baroni is putting the rest of his dick. Then they talk about how they want everyone on steroids, and then they also say they want to be on steroids.
I just realized, dude, isn't Phil Baroni fighting Chris Lieben and like bare knuckle?
Yeah, let's not talk about it. Since we just saw Chris Lieben very recently, it was very nice.
The best ever.
Let's see. There's a lot of Andrew Dick Baroni jokes. God damn it. Baroni at one point evidently tweeted out a picture of his dick, which was what basically brought to light all of these dick jokes. And it's just a giant list of dick jokes about Baroni. It's great. They talk about the finish of this fight with the ground and pound being like the equivalent of the elevator scene in Drive. So they started asking for people to make a clip of the podcast where you just play the Drive music over Minowaman getting ground and pounded. It's fucking brutal. They talk about the giant Publishers Clearinghouse check that you used to get in Pride. Post-fight, they do a Baroni impression over the top of Baroni talking, since they don't have audio, about how Phil explains why in the future he's going to tweet a picture of his dick. And I also watched a little bit of their last episode, which was about Sage versus Trevino, and that's when Trevino became full-time marijuana. At one point, Trevino transforms Justin into a squirrel during that episode, and a demon comes on to explain why Sage won. That gives you any kind of feel for how fucking weird that show is. It's very weird, but in the coolest ways. They also, I tweeted to them this week because they were asking for suggestions, and they said they sent their audio overseas to get edited, but in the next one they might do the Diaz versus Gomi recommendation I sent over, which would be great because, or I should say Nick Diaz, since Nate also fought Gomi, but of course the famous Nick Diaz super high fighting Gomi. That's right. In Pride, where he go plotted him while stoned out of his fucking mind. Because Justin's a giant pothead, like myself, and because Justin does the world's best Nick Diaz impersonation. So look for that coming forward, and I'm sure I will bring it up when it comes out. But it's just a goofy-ass fun episode, and I really liked it. And that's just how their show is. It's not, like, you're not going to get any great insight. You're not going to get any, I wouldn't say revelatory thoughts, because there's a lot of revelatory thoughts, but just like in this episode, they're all about Phil Baroni's dick. And the best part about this, Phil Baroni listened to the episode and said it was the best episode fucking ever. He was like tweeting out about how it's the funniest shit of all time, and this is the best podcast.
Of course he did.
Because Phil's fucking hilarious. So I really liked it, and I highly recommend checking it out, as goofy as it is. So what's your other show? Or you still have a couple, huh?
I just have another catch, and then I'll go to the other part. Obviously, the skip and can't miss. Real quick, another catch was the new Sweet Science. This was funny to me. They first start off by saying, let's rank the pullouts from Volkan Oezdemir of 2018. He pulled out in March against, who was it?
Well, some of them weren't his fault, though.
No, I know. But
still, yeah.
Yeah, it was March, then July, and then just now.
I can pull it out.
There's 3 of them. Yeah, it's good Tapology. They talk about Anthony Smith. They said he clearly has been following Volkan Oezdemir's schedule and every time preparing a time for an impromptu fight whenever Volkan pulls out. Because they said it's been such a coincidence every time that Volkan, I think, if you look this up, has pulled out, I think Anthony Smith has appeared on that card. I think that's a real thing, yeah. So we'll look into that.
That's pretty crazy.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. So they're like, this is insane. They said the new nickname for Volkan at this point is No Time Fighting on Time.
Okay, it's decent.
They said what?
All right, here we go.
Okay, so yeah, May. That's what they mentioned. July, yep, and then just
pull out twice against Hua and once against Gustafsson.
And then let's go to Anthony Smith, because if that's true, that's gonna be crazy.
So the second Hua one though wasn't his fault, because that was because of the court case.
That's right.
But still, Anthony Smith. Okay,
so let's go May, July. No, not quite.
Almost.
Just July.
Yeah.
Okay.
Close, but still, like he fought right around the same time.
I think their point is they were just saying Smith is always ready to fight.
Yeah,
they said,
speaking of pullouts,
what's the pullout risk for 227? They said the card is...
Depends on which of the fights.
The card is surprisingly meh.
I would say the pullout risk at Rizin is way higher, considering Rin Nakai and Rita are both on the card. That's a weeaboo joke that you guys really like. I hope you... Okay, anyway. We'll get back to that when I get to my can't misses.
They said Demetrius Johnson already has a win/can't win dichotomy. Meaning, it's if he wins, it's like, yes, he still has title defenses, but he can't win because they're like, oh, well, you're fighting just a bunch of nobody. People, there's that unfair criticism like, oh, why don't you go fight the bantamweight again? It's just, he's stuck kind of in limbo there, unfortunately. They shit on the Hamburg card. They previewed 227.
To be fair, that card wasn't that bad. It was the pacing that was so fucking bad. Like, the fights were okay, but there were just a lot of decisions.
They think Rose needs to fight Jessica Andrade next.
I'd love to see that fight.
Assuming Andrade wins her next fight against Carolina, she's a clear contender.
Yeah.
They call bullshit on TJ Dillashaw calling himself the bantamweight GOAT if he ends up beating Cody, because they know you need to beat Cruz for you to really solidify that. I could see that, and I know another podcast.
That's kind of fair.
It's kind of fair, a little bit.
It's no different than DC, right? Everyone shits on DC for not beating Jones, and that's less. That's like more contentious.
This part I liked. They said if you could pick a current, former, and UFC affiliated employee, not Dana, to party with, which 3 would you choose?
Mick Maynard, number 1.
So one of the guys said John Jones.
Oh, they're talking about fighters.
Style. Yeah, so it's a
I thought you meant UFC employees.
So they said a current fighter, a former fighter, and a current employee.
Oh, employee number 1, Mick Maynard, because I heard that dude fucking drinks.
So one of them said someone said former John Jones, current John Jones. That's 2 of mine, and then Luciana Andrade, one of the ring girls.
Okay.
Yeah. So what are your 3? So who's your former fighter that you love?
Former fighter I would love to drink with. Oh.
No, just party. Whether it's
right.
We'll say have fun with. Because we're not gonna.
Well, it has to be someone not depressing like Chuck or Chris. So
depending which Chuck. Just kidding.
Not today, Chuck. I'll give you who it wouldn't be. Diego Brandao, who fights in fucking Rizin this week. I would not party with that dude who is known for all of his friends who's partying.
Honorable mention. They said people who party.
I was going to say my go-tos would probably be Hawaiian. So like Kendall Grove, BJ Penn. It would be BJ Penn. Or GSP. Because GSP is known when he does party.
He'd be mine for current. Because he's current.
Actually, no. Who might? Well, it would have been Nick Diaz, but nowadays that has a weird tone to it. I'm missing. Jen. No, because Jen's is sober. This is the problem. Is they're all sober.
Yeah.
It's BJ Penn. It's BJ Penn.
I think
current Tai Tuivasa.
I think I would choose Tony Ferguson just so I can have him just making
current?
Drinks.
Yeah. What about past?
Fuck.
That's a hard one.
Part of me wanted to say Chuck Liddell, but I think that could be nightmare-inducing based on... well, okay. I'll leave it at that. Past... Phil Baroni would be kind of too nutty.
Ooh, Phil Baroni's a good
cool,
one, but yeah, it would be wild.
Because they mentioned, on mentions, they said, how about Junie Browning, Julian Lane?
Nope.
John Jones would be fun. I don't know about that either.
None of those.
I think John Jones would just get coked up or drunk and just shit on you.
Yeah, he would make fun of you forever.
Loser that I'm with, or some shit. Like,
he would make fun of you.
They said Chris Lieben. You want to kick some doors
that's
down?
exactly what I said. I just first named him because I didn't want to party with him. And I like him a lot.
Yeah, ring girls, that's just like some easy fucking answer.
That's lazy.
It's just lazy. Yeah,
what about UFC employee?
One of them kept insisting on Dana, just only because Dana threw his son $1 million Sweet 16.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, hey, if you're with Dana, he's gonna probably just give you some money to fucking.
That's not at all true. He's gonna give the waitress and the stripper money. He's not gonna give you shit.
Yeah.
As shown by his entire employer-employee relationship.
Dude, I think I would party with...
or non-employee, I should say.
Wait, is Joe Rogan? No, he drinks.
Oh, yeah, he is still a UFC employee.
Yeah, Joe Rogan would be a good...
Rogan's a good answer. Anik is a good answer.
I feel like Dominic Cruz would be a decent answer because he used to party with like Travis Barker and shit like that and go to clubs.
But does that count as employee? Because if it does, I would say DC.
Yeah, hey, I saw DC at after party and he's having a good time.
Oh, that's right. Actually, there's a great... Fuck, I saw you Photoshop that picture of BJ Penn.
Yeah, my BJ Penn impression, clearly.
It's so good.
Yeah,
after that on our Twitter.
They briefly talked about the preview to this fight, which I'll say, this upcoming card tomorrow night, which I'll talk about in the final segment. They talk about Eddie being an OG, Pride, Dream, co-main event. They said Aldo's last non-title fight was in 2009. One of them said, Jose Aldo is like a chick who comes over to your house and you have sex twice, but you masturbated twice before she came over and you can't get an erection for 3 days after. It's like, that was so oddly specific.
That's happened to that guy. Yeah. That's too, like, if he would have said once...
Because the other guy was just like this.
Times.
Wow.
Yeah. No, you can't specifically say 2 times before. Like, I get what you're going for, but that is way too specific to not be real.
That means that is either a very, very good for him or a big disappointment if he remembers it that specifically. So
I'm going to go with the second if he remembers it that specifically.
Yeah. And then after that, they get distracted for 10 minutes about the some censuses ranking of the countries where most attractive women are from, and they kept guessing blah blah blah.
God,
it's just weird.
It's all European.
It
right?
was funny. Yeah, I think
it's like
Ireland
European.
was ranked number 1, which is random as shit.
That's wrong.
That has to be wrong.
Well, I mean, it's not for me because I fucking love redheads, but apart for the rest of the world, that's wrong.
Yeah.
If you're not into pale freckled redheads, Ireland does not generally do it for you. Although that is my jam. Shouts out to my awful ex and some others. Anyway.
So that was my second catch. Yeah, it was pretty funny. Those guys are always fun to listen to.
Yeah, it sounds like a blast, and that show I need to start getting that in my regular rotation because it's seems like a fun one for sure. The only other one I wanted to shout out for my catches, for the shows you should catch, is the Calgary Vivisection from MMA Nation. The whatever they call that, the MMA Vivisection for Calgary card or whatever the fuck it is. Link in the description like always. That was one with Connor and Zane, and it's just a fantastic breakdown of that card. Just the amount of tape study they do, honestly, they give like subtle insights into stuff I would never catch, and also they start with hilarious jokes about how the show started late because Zane tweets out, yeah, show's gonna start in a bit. I'm calling random Denny's to have them check the bathrooms to see which one Connor fell asleep in this time. And then, so they start late, and then Zane starts briefs it with, so we're finally starting because I figured out that Connor passed out in the Cincinnati Denny's bathroom this time, and Connor...
Where are they based out of?
Well, Zane is out of Oregon, I believe,
that's right.
Portland, and Connor's out of somewhere in Ohio. I think Columbus. But they speak. So Zane says, we found Connor in the Cincinnati.
Fuck.
What?
That when you said Ohio, that reminds me of this podcast. Is when I was in Europe, that I said it wasn't a skip, and I don't remember if it's a podcast anymore. But they talked about how they're all just terrible white trash from this place called Xenia, Ohio. I just remember that. And they're talking about like some bar people would shoot up and pass out inside Taco Bell bathrooms. I just remember that.
That's
Sorry.
okay.
I just
Super
remember that
random.
from an episode from like 2 years ago.
I don't remember that
Ohio.
at all.
Xenia, Ohio.
If you guys tweet us what episode that was, I will retweet the shit out of it on our account and on my own personal account. But anyway, so Zane jokes that he found Connor inside by calling a Cincinnati bathroom, and Connor says, of a Denny's, of course, and Connor says, please, Zane, they've gone the IHOP route.
I was going to say IHOB?
Yeah, they're now pronounced Debbie's.
That's amazing.
So, that's how they start off that. That's how they start off that prediction. That's how they start off that prediction podcast for the card, which is why I like it. They do mention some cool stuff, like Randa has been working... Randa tends to work a single style game plan, whereas as of late, Nina's fighting Randa, right? I have that right?
Yeah, I think so.
I have this card right in front of me. Let me double check so I'm not fucking this up. I'm 99% positive. I just want to make sure I'm not wrong on that. So I know Alexis Davis and Chukagian. Okay, cool. But yeah, no... So fucking that threw me off. I got real worried I was mixing up Chukagian and Davis, even though they're in completely different weight classes. Randa, generally works a single style game plan, whereas as of late, Nina Ansaroff has been really good at mixing her entire game plan of striking and also mixing in a wrestling. And she's looked really sharp since not only working with ATT but living with Amanda. Seems to have really changed her game recently and her mindset of like being very focused and dialed into.
I mean, yeah, she just has that, just having the opportunity and just to work with someone like that. I mean, she's especially a fucking champion.
100%.
It's gonna up your game in every asset.
Not only that, but banging a champion.
I mean,
Shouts out to Nina Ansaroff.
It's a confidence booster there.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Also, they compare Connor always says that Laprice is like Faraz's favorite fighter because Chad Laprice just fights. He fights exactly the way Faraz would want someone to fight, and Connor compares Chukagian to Mark Henry's favorite fighter. I was like, she fights exactly how Mark Henry would want someone to fight. They also make some mentions of how she's Chukagian's a Holly Holm, but a worse counterfighter, but with occasional power, and it's just a really solid breakdown. It's funny, but it's very, very informative, and the small things they pick up on, they are much more versed in that stuff than I am. I try to do tape study as much as I can, but their retention of it is way better. Probably because they're not as big of drunks, at least not Zane. And so I highly recommend it. I think it's a great episode. And actually, the Vivisection will come up again in a bit.
So, I will go ahead and get to my skip.
Oh boy.
Which is kind of a skip. It's weird. And I don't know if you want to include this into a clip or have it as a bonus clip. BBC MMA.
That's gonna be our clip for this upcoming segment.
It was interesting. Nick was talking about how, okay, so is this pretty much happening? The welterweight title thing?
As far as I can tell.
Okay, so he met with Darren Till. Said Till is ready and excited because, dude, obviously, yes, okay. So first off, Till has admitted, of course, I don't deserve a title shot. Are you gonna say fucking no to that?
Should be Usman, but
no one's gonna say no.
Of course he takes it.
Yeah, of course, take the goddamn fight.
They don't want Usman to have the title, just like they don't want Tyron to have the title.
Yeah.
So,
they played the interview Nick had with Till. I thought it was a solid interview. Till wants to have a title reign full of just consistent defenses.
Or I would love the title reign of him making weight.
Yeah, touche. Till wants to take it to Woodley and put it on him. He sees Woodley as a small little man he's going to beat up. Let me guess, because it's illegal that you're fighting. Yeah, we've heard that shtick. I fucking get it. You know what I mean?
Small little man.
Yeah,
That's what everyone describes.
Little. He's short, but he's wide. However else do you want to fucking describe him? Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, he sounds like he's talking about Manny Gambarian, not Tyron.
Yeah, or John Lineker.
Artem.
Yeah, Artem. Dan Hardy thought Woodley was going to make excuses why Till wasn't worthy. Dan Hardy thinks it helps Woodley gets fans back on his side for taking the fight.
I think the whole thing
that's indifferent, but
I think the only way Woodley was going to get a bunch of fans that he deserved is Colby.
And speaking of which, this wasn't on my list. I listened to part of the show. Submission Radio was great.
I didn't.
Colby Covington was interviewed. This was a week ago, actually.
Oh, I covered that last week, I think.
Fuck. Okay.
Partially.
I must have got the replay because basically Colby admits, obviously it's a shtick, dumbasses. Like, and he's literally explaining why you're supposed to do a fucking stupid shtick to get fights.
But we all knew this, right?
But we all knew this. But yeah, it surprised Casper and Dennis. Like, oh. But it didn't surprise me because I thought he's already done that. So it was weird. It was almost like
I've heard him do that.
It was almost like a weird
else.
deja vu. Or
maybe I only partially covered that episode. I think I covered like the beginning of it. I didn't talk about the Colby stuff.
It's when he was talking to Chael on You're Welcome.
That's what it was. That's why I didn't cover it.
Like, yeah, Colby, I kind of told you.
That was the episode. Yeah. Where Chael has literally said, like, oh, yeah, Colby, you know how I told you to do that thing and you did that thing? And you used my writer, Doug Crosby, the shitty ref, who's the worst person maybe in all of history as far as I can tell, maybe aside from Hitler and Mussolini and, like, one or two others.
Adelaide Bird. Yeah. So
that's true. She is worse.
Sorry, Triple G and boxing fans everywhere.
Also, Hitler was a terrible judge of boxing matches.
Yeah, he was really bad.
He would just give everyone a 9.
Shouts out
Boom! Come on for that joke!
Yeah. They
it's
did.
It's the worst. That was the worst one.
As one of Avita's ended that.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry, you guys. I yelled way too loud. I'm so sorry.
God damn it. And you said boom.
And I said 9 as a Hitler joke. It's like it's the Eugene S. Robinson showstopper up in this bitch.
Yeah, right. Where's the Lost Battalion? Hardy is confident Till will make weight. Let's be real, guys. They're a little biased because Till is English. Whatever. I'd be biased too. It's your own country. You know what I mean?
They love Till, though.
Till says the plan is to be in Vegas 1 month out to train at the UFC Performance Institute because Till was saying he's interviewed, they want my weight to be on point. I want my weight to be on point. I'm going to show them I'm serious. That's why I'll be out there for a month in advance training at the PI.
That's good to hear.
And he says I'm going to be in Dallas about a week and a half out before the fight to get acclimated to that. So he's probably... I'm not doubting that he's serious. And it just scares me just based on how fucking huge he is. That's the only reason why that's the only, you know what I mean?
He shouldn't be at 170.
No. If he makes weight, fuck yeah, dude. Let's go. This could be a sick fight. But it's...
I'm worried he's going to... I mean,
I'm worried he's going to fucking die cutting weight.
Well, here's the thing. Say he makes weight, say he wins. He's going to corner that belt, right? And by the way, that is a new verb that we are officially coining right now. I don't know if anybody's done this yet. Someone probably has.
Should we coin it the Burger King belt?
No, it's when you corner a belt, you win the belt, and then immediately vacate to try and get a higher weight class belt. Because he's never going to make 170 again.
So he'll win. It'll be like 6 months later. I'm gonna go up to middleweight and
100%.
win that belt. And you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go to light heavyweight.
Yeah, 100%. No, he's never defending that belt if he wins it.
So yeah.
He's barely making... He's 2 for 4 on making 170 right now.
Yeah, apparently... ironically, very ironically, Darren Till bought a pizza shop in Liverpool. You can't make that up.
Worked out good for Johnny Hendricks at 170.
Yeah. They talk about, can Till actually get inside and do what other time will do against Woodley? Yeah, let his hands go. We saw that work for Wonder Boy. God damn it. Talk about Anthony Smith had an interview, which was good. And then our clip, which I won't spoil, which, holy shit, it's Nick. Nick impersonating Daniel Cormier.
If you can call that an impersonation,
it's a poor attempt.
It's not even a poor attempt. It's like if I was to just
speaking of a British bias, they loved. And what were you saying? It was like if you're speaking of what?
I was gonna say it's like if I was to just read a sentence that Dan Hardy said in my own voice, but then try and put a weird excitement on it. He didn't even try for an American accent, which I bet he does very well because they all do. Here's a stereotype: all English dudes can do a good American accent.
Yeah, they're all Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
They would love to see Sacktown's own Jimmy Manoa fight for a vacant belt, but they acknowledge Gustafsson deserves a shot.
They're real biased on that show.
Yeah, I know.
Especially for
I was like, dude, Jimmy Manoa, title shot? No. His 2 other teammates deserve a shot, a.k.a. Alexander Gustafsson and Ilia Latifi deserve a shot.
Yeah, they both
And that's the problem with the Division 2. They're all 3 teammates and won't fight each other. It's like, what the fuck?
And the other 2 have way more credible wins.
Yeah. Then they said Volkan's still there, as well as Latifi. Corey Anderson's there. OSP's looking there. The whole division's a fucking mess. They think Gustafsson's going to move up to heavyweight. I don't fucking know at this point. They said the best move for the light heavyweight division, even though it'd be a bad idea because it would just be them kind of acknowledging the competitor Bellator, there needs to be a mini tournament in the light heavyweight division, which actually wouldn't be a terrible idea considering how fucked up the division is.
They'll never do tournaments.
No, they wouldn't, but they said the main guys would be Anthony Smith, you get Khalil Roundtree, you get Jim Manoa, you get Alexander Gustafsson. Because so this is the tournament would force him to fight the teammates. You get Ilia Latifi. Who else was it? OSP, and there's a couple other guys, but it's all not great. They should just combine the 185 and 205 divisions and just say fuck it. That reminds me, who was it? Oh, Kevin Lee had mentioned Luke Thomas. He's like, and we've
75, 65,
165, 75.
It needs to exist.
Yeah.
It just does.
Because who else would you get 165? You'd get Michael Chiesa.
155 and 170 is so fucking stacked.
You'd probably get Nate Diaz at 165 if he ever fights again.
If he wants to, you can maybe even get Nick Diaz at 165. Yeah. That dude
GSP would love 165.
Yeah, he's asked for it in the past.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all I got for the kind of skip. How about you? So what should people skip this week?
So my skip this week.
As you prepare yourself with a deep sigh,
dude, I have.
Can I ask you? Is it Brandon Schaub related?
No.
Okay, thank you.
It's not because I can't. I've decided.
Now I will ignore you.
When I skip a podcast, I'm not going to listen to it the next week. So that way I don't just yell about Brendan saying dumb shit every week.
Yeah, good point.
And also, this was way more offensive than anything Brendan has done.
Is it Jason Spencer offensive?
No. Nothing's that offensive. But it's more offensive by the network to do this. I'll get to it. So there was 500 guests on the Ariel Helwani Show to episode 5 this week.
Oh, is this where he split it into 5 segments?
Oh, they do that every week. They've always done
that.
They
do? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Which is
Wait, maybe that's why I actually listened to his show, one of his segments.
Which is whose decision? ESPN's decision.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I
We'll
kind of respect him for that, because then you can at least pick and choose. Well, you can pick and choose, because who's going to really listen to all 5 hours?
There's time codes on the fucking 5-hour podcast, and there was time codes on the 5-hour YouTube video, where you can just click the time code and go to a person. Now you can't do that anymore. We'll get to worse things. Well, maybe you can, but there's worse things about this show, Chris. I could have.
Shouts out to the cast of Torque on your street today.
Oh yeah, no, fucking.
Ice Cube and one other guy.
DMX? It wasn't DMX.
It was Ice Cube. It was Ice Cube.
No, the
it was Ice Cube, some corny white guy.
God damn it.
What's
What's his name? I know, I can see his face.
Dude, I'm telling you, it was Ice Cube, a corny white guy no one knows, and then Korean actor Will Yun Lee, who was from fucking Sleeping Dogs and some other movies.
Sleeping Dogs was a movie?
No, but he voiced Wei
Sleeping
Shen.
Dogs was great. I forget what I'm thinking of in Torque. It's the pretty black dude. Like, super, like, pretty.
Not Tyrese, just kidding.
Right, no, it's like Tyrese. It might even be Tyrese.
Dane Cook is a piece of shit. He's in that movie. He's
Dane Cook was
this guy, Gichi Gamba.
Maybe I'm just thinking of Tyrese and Fast and the Furious.
Definitely not Phase on Love. Shouts out to Friday.
Yeah.
Big Worm.
That's right. Anyway, back to Ariel Helwani Show, Episode 5, my skip. Okay, here's a couple problems with this show. He's starting to have the amount of guests where he's not doing interviews. He's just doing Fox style, hey, let me ask you 3 questions and give you a plug. And it's very upsetting. I'm just saying Fox style. I just mean any generic fucking public TV, Conan O'Brien segment, anybody. Like, where it's just like, oh, pop on, make 3 jokes and give a plug. To the point where, like, no one has a real conversation during any of it. Chael joins in studio. So Anthony Smith comes on. He talks about the win over Shogun. What's next for him? Chael goes in studio. Chael, evidently, Ariel just basically pimps Chael the entire time.
Where he bad guy show, right?
Well, not even that. He just talks about, like, whether the UFC has lost something off its fastball. Cut to Ariel talking about Dana like he is the UFC. I'll get to this in a second, but that just reminded me of Well, no, so Chael's like, oh, the UFC lost something off their fastball, and then Ariel's like, well, Dana definitely, you know, like, Dana's the UFC now? Like, when did that happen?
Let me guess, if they're talking baseball terms, you say Dana balked or some dumb shit?
Well, Ariel likes American sports references all of a sudden, evidently.
Did you see the
fucking red zone thing?
Yeah, I was about to say, did you see that? And it confused all of Ireland?
It didn't even confuse it, like... I would argue it didn't confuse them. It just made all of America mad at Ariel.
Yeah.
Because you're like, bro, I know you're Canadian and you didn't understand, so that's why you tweeted it, but don't justify it by Ireland.
Just to be fair, in the Canadian Football League, there's like barely a red zone because the fucking field is a lot bigger.
Well, but that was the whole point, is Ariel didn't know. He had to ask someone what a red zone was, and then that's why he tweeted out what a red zone was. But then he defended it by being like, oh, well, obviously Ireland doesn't know what a red zone is, bro.
God damn it! Like, I'm such a American football nerd. I could ask him who's the number 1 like Canadian player to ever play in the NFL, and he well, actually no, he's Canadian enough. He probably know who it is. So.
Yeah, but anyway, so more upsetting things from that show. I could make this a skip because Ariel literally says during the show he doesn't take breaks because he's afraid the audience will leave, which is why we get to listen to weird fucking awkward silence while he listens to producers or reads notes on his computer. I could skip this show because he basically doesn't ask anything relevant at all about JoJo, and then has a bunch of long pauses after that interview trying to queue up fucking interviews. One funny thing, Paulo Costa does accidentally call in from Orlando and talk about how he went to Disneyland.
Did they put Yoel Romero on the other line saying, I love you?
He didn't, but he did call it Disneyland.
That's actually amazing.
Because he's Brazilian, which is
Disneyland.
very funny to me.
So you Minnie Mouse?
Yeah, Kat Zingano calls in, talk about her win. Tyron Skypes in, talk about Colby dropping out and Toe being fat. Corey Anderson calls in, Anderson Silva calls in, talk about taking supplements. Frankie Edgar calls in, talking about a TKZ fight. Gus calls in, talking about energy.
Reusable energy.
Another reason I could skip this show, Gus said that he doesn't care to hear or read what DC said about Gus, and then Ariel read it to him on air.
Wow.
Fedor comes in studio. First off, Fedor's mic is off or extremely low for the first 10 minutes of this segment. Then Ariel immediately brings up Putin talking to Conor and not Khabib. Ariel also brings up Chael accusing Pride of fixing some of Fedor's fights, and he brings up Chael saying Fedor's whole thing is a gimmick. Because, of course, he's pimping Chael.
Dude, I'm kind of like zoning out.
Dude,
it's so upsetting.
Oh, how about the fact that he has Austin Vanderford on and says multiple times, how do you not sign him? Mr. Van Zant? This is perfect. That was multiple
Wait,
times.
Is that a real quote? Mr. Van Zant, this is perfect?
Yeah, no, that's a real quote. No. How do you not sign him? Mr. Van Zant, this is perfect. He also...
Alright, guys, I'm going to go do a bathroom break. Just kidding.
He talks him into...
really sad.
He tries to talk him into being a heel twice. By saying, like, you need to be, you need to be Steve Austin, you need to be Bret Hart, you need to come in and be like...
You need to be like TJ,
you need to come in
and say, fuck Team Alpha Male.
You need to come in and be like, oh, I'm banging this hot girl, and everybody hates me for it, and you all can suck it. 2 different times during the interview, he brings that up. Those could be
what the fuck?
He also, to cap this off... I guess he has Volkanovski on. But to cap this off, he has Ali come on to talk about whatever the fuck Ali wants to talk about. Abdelaziz, of course. Ali Abdelaziz says shit like Jessica Ai's next fight could be for the title.
Oh, yeah, that's actually crazy. I didn't think of that.
That's fucking insane. Here's a quote. Conor is number 1 bitch for Dana White.
Wait, who quoted that?
That was Ali.
He said Conor is what?
Number 1 bitch for Dana White.
Okay.
Which makes Khabib number 2?
2? Yeah.
Like, terrible. And then Ali just keeps saying crazy shit. Ariel briefly... Oh, here we go. Ariel keeps asking Ali when the Conor and Khabib fight is going to happen. And Ali keeps saying over and over again, we haven't talked about it. And they just go back and forth like 4 times about that. He's like, oh, I know, but when are, like, how far are you guys in talks? He's like, we haven't talked about it. He's like, but are you guys looking at, like, an October date? Or he's like, we haven't talked about it. All of those could be the reasons why this is a skip for me. However, none of those are the reason this is a skip. Does that blow your mind?
Dude, I'm like fucking just in a coma right now.
So here's the problem. Here's why this is a skip this week, Chris. ESPN is editing anytime a guest swears on that show out of that show. If you say fuck on the Helwani Show, it's a silence.
Wait, like they censor it silence?
Yeah.
That means you're never on the show.
No, they censor it. Every single guest.
That's a lot of censoring.
Especially when you have Ali Abdelaziz on. But
so wait, so does it sound like this? Hi Arius, first of all, that guy...
yeah.
So like
Conor
you see that
is
in Wayne's World too.
Pussy.
Hi, I like to get up with a side of donut in it.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
No, and also, it's never been... I haven't heard it ever addressed at all. But they're clearly editing the video. And at what point is it like... It's because they're owned by Disney. But it's an online show. It's not published. It doesn't go on ESPN or on anywhere else. It's an online-only show. How is Ariel, do you not stand up and be like, oh, you can't cut words out of my guests' fucking mouths?
Yeah, how can he at least...
He's, as a responsible journalist, isn't that something you should do? Like, add something with your name on the fucking show?
I forgot, did they censor it when he was at
No.
With SB Nation?
Never.
No. I mean,
people said horrible things on that show. You're allowed to say horrible things.
Ariel is laughing up.
Fucking dude, their entire segment in the very last episode was Matt Mitrione and fucking what's his face coming on. Oh, I was Sean McCorkle coming on and saying terrible, tasteless jokes.
How about this? Since by the way, everyone know I'm going to New York City from September 8th to 18th. I will try to go to. Probably won't be able to get in. We'll find out.
No, you won't.
If I find myself in ESPN headquarters for some odd reason, I'll try to make. I'll get rid of censorship. Sound of Violence exclusive.
There you go.
We'll get retweeted by ESPN.
Look for that going.
Okay,
if they haven't blocked us already for me tweeting to them for being cowards.
Something happen, not for us in a bad light. It'll be something interesting.
Okay.
We'll think of something.
Well, tell them if they want to cut the word fuck out of this show, they can eat my dick.
Yeah, just like that. So which is the irony.
Which is also the exact same thing Ariel should have said. I'm honestly disappointed in Ariel for not standing up for that. Like, that seems like something...
You probably kind of thought of it, and he's probably like,
it's Twitter only.
I'm with ESPN,
it's
so
Twitter only.
I like my job, and fuck.
Yeah, but, like, it's Twitter only. It's Twitter and YouTube and iTunes exclusive. It's not on a network.
It's true.
So, like, why the fuck do you have to edit it?
You can't censor the internet.
No. So what's the fuck... It's not only 12-year-olds are listening to the show, and if they are... probably can hear dudes can get
dude, I have
hit in
a
the face in a cage for a living.
I have a little cousin, she's like 14, and I remember like she was telling me there's shit kids say. It's like, yeah, we said dumb shit when we were 14, 15.
Oh,
right?
I said horrible shit.
But like she was telling me this, I'm like, damn, that's almost worse. I feel like it gets worse and worse each generation. I don't know.
Well, yeah, when I was a kid I said horrible shit.
Same to me.
So listen to fucking comedians, but yeah, no, absolutely unacceptable at any level. We will get to our catches, but man, I am...
Or can't misses.
That's what I meant, but
yeah.
I am officially not ever going to...
Sorry if I zoned out. I was like so upset, like my mind was like on fucking autopilot, and I wasn't actively ignoring what you were saying, but I was like so enraged.
So that was kind of on purpose because
God damn it.
That's how my experience for that show went. Is like there was all...
So were you just listening like this?
Well, so I didn't catch it. So I didn't figure out that they were editing until Ali came on, because Ali swore 15 times or 15 times a minute. So like the whole time I was getting more progressively upset. It was already in my skip list, and then I figured out, holy shit, they're editing out every swear word other than bitch, which is ironic. Also, ESPN, you bitch. Why are you not editing that out? But people can't say shit or fuck like goddamn adults on the internet.
See, if I was on the show, I'd be like, hey, censor this, you fucking bitch. No, I was just saying, censor this, you bitch.
No,
and I was like this, fuck you, real quick.
Dude, if I listened back to that show and I realized I was being edited, the next time I came on,
you just have to think of... No, you have to think of clever ways to sneak them in where it's like...
No, I would come on and just insult ESPN the entire fucking time.
So wait, so this is what it sound like.
I would bury those motherfuckers.
From the Sound of Violence podcast, we have Chris Pulver. Chris, how you doing? Hey, Ariel. Well, today is a... watch it.
No, it was just...
Chris, are you there? Yeah. Did you just hear... Yeah. What I was just...
Right. You did the fake editing.
Yeah.
Try and make fun. Okay, that's way more subtle than what I would have done, where it would have started, hey, I'd like to start with ESPN can eat all the dicks. For sure.
Can I say that?
As a series, yeah. Can I say that? I have salad. I have salad in a bag, and my restaurant is going pretty well, but not that well.
You can all frig off and forget yourself.
I started doing a Johnny Hendricks impression based off of a Justin Galele impression at a certain point, but fuck, man, that show is... I'm done. I've said this multiple times, but I tried to give Ariel's new show a chance. Nah.
Excuse me, his new shit a chance?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll be quick because I know we gotta get into some other stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of hurry on. So can't miss for me. Slip and Dip number 61.
Dude, so good.
Kendrick was at the SB Awards. For those who don't know, those are basically just awards for athletes. I've seen it in the past. I think it's pretty entertaining. If you're a sports guy, whatever, it's individual sports, extreme sports, team sports. It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch athletes interact with each other.
Yeah, it was funny how everyone in MMA doesn't realize how Kendrick is like deep in the MMA and NFL scene.
And the NBA, for sure. And I liked Rose Namajunas. She had a picture with her with the NBA center, Dwight Howard, saying, if NBA players trained MMA, we'd all be fucked. Basically, which is a very good point, because we're all like 6'6" and above.
I mean, if then again,
it depends. Because leg kicks to be...
Seven's true, too.
Goddamn, literally so much wasted potential.
But
you're Dutch.
He's not a quarter of the athlete that fucking...
Dutch.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. He had some good leg kicks last weekend.
See, I didn't see the fight.
He did work a little bit more of a jab.
Kendrick,
not a lot, but a little bit.
Kendrick goes, when will we stop calling Anthony Smith a prospect? Now?
Oh, yeah. He's like
he had
30.
40 fights before he was even in the UFC.
He's not a problem.
He's
been around for a long time.
Kendrick said Shogun looked like he had some allergy problems. Like his eyes were all swelled up and he was like sneezing.
Shogun looked bad.
They said the pacing is still too slow. The rumors when they moved to ESPN, being the UFC moves to ESPN, the show will be faster. I wrote the show will be slower.
It can't
Why
be
did
slower.
I write that?
The only way it's slower is if it's in slow motion.
I'm like, I put slower because it said ESPN. I'm like, oh, they'll make it worse. All right. Dana threw $1 million party for his son. Who gives a fuck? He has money.
Yeah.
NBA players get 50% revenue shares because if a players union were in the UFC.
Yep.
Yeah. Reebok. Freebok. What do you want to call it?
Freebok.
There's no arbitration and fighters paid like there is in baseball. Yeah, no shit, because there's no neutral party to set a neutral payment or a fair agreed upon payment, which people should get. Just like in Major League Baseball, if you're at the final year of your contract, you enter arbitration talks, which means, okay, the baseball clubs, say the Padres, are like, oh, okay, we're going to give you $2 million for the next 2 years. And they go, okay, I want more. Then that arbitration means if they reach arbitration, the third party goes, no, this player should get this much. Okay, then they're, you know what I mean? So
having a union helps.
Yeah. So
then
they mentioned,
that's the Doug music, not the more you know.
Speaking of unions, how come fighters who once wanted unions, aka TJ Dillashaw and Stipe Miocic, get paid and finally paid, and they're like, okay, we're oblivious to unions now.
Yeah.
TJ last week going, Project Spearhead, never heard of it. Yeah.
Definitely doesn't check his mentions.
Yeah.
Because Leslie Smith hit literally every one of them up.
Dustin Poirier has looked great lately. Eddie Alvarez gets better the more he gets beat up. You know what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
Eddie Alvarez has looked great. People have forgotten how good Jose Aldo was before Conor beat him because it said there's too many casuals watching the sport because of Conor. Yes, and I like that point that they brought that up. They had an interview.
BK?
Excuse me, yeah, thank you for the correction.
Yeah,
BK.
For ones I remembered.
Yeah, Burger King, a.k.a. the spicy chicken sandwich.
That's right, a.k.a. mystery meat.
A.k.a. Dolly. They had interviewed Daniel Cormier and asked him about his past fights.
Wait, he's Pitbull?
What?
Dale.
God damn it. Dale, the fucking shitty Bud Light platinum.
Keep going.
Damn it, dude. They interviewed Daniel Cormier and asked him about his past fights, fighting in Strikeforce, that kind of stuff. They admired DC's character when he wanted to sign a waiver at UFC 200 when Jones tested positive because he still wanted to fight him. They hope Brock Lesnar could stay clean for 6 months in the testing pool.
Good luck.
We hope so too.
I
want to see that fight because it'd be a fun freak show fight.
I want to see DC get paid, but Brock's gonna be juiced the week before, obviously.
They feel Daniel Cormier's up there with Mighty Mouse and GSP with the GOAT conversation because none of them have asterisks. Yeah, fair point. DC talks about how he takes supplements 3 times a day and vitamins are essential to his diet and his training regimen. He also says it's common sense. How about you make sure they're fucking approved by USADA and have a third-party seal so it's not that tough. Just do your research. Thanks, DC. Something everyone should know.
Well, that or go Mighty Mouse and be like, really, supplements add very little except for like some protein and creatine.
DC says the legacy of Javier Mendez is undervalued, and his coach's success rate among current and past champions at AKA needs to be seen in a broader light. I agree.
Yeah, he should definitely.
They said he should have been trainer of the year.
Yeah.
They mentioned Luke Rockhold evidently is going to rematch Chris Weidman at UFC 230, which is Madison Square Garden, which is also going to be known as the middleweight supercard because you might have Paulo Costa fighting Yoel Romero. You have the Rockhold Weidman 2. You have Israel Adesanya possibly fighting Derek Brunson. It's just a middleweight extravaganza at this point.
Yeah.
It's shaping up to be that way,
but
barring negotiations.
Also it's all middleweight, so hopefully that doesn't go like most middleweight fights.
That's a good point.
Because otherwise, oh boy, that fight card could be.
Let's hope it's all like Romero versus Whitaker 2.
And not like Arlovsky versus Albini at heavyweight, but smaller.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm worried about for a lot of those.
They said if Cain Velasquez had a title opportunity, DC said he would vacate the belt because, we knew this. He's never going to fight him. They interviewed Sage Northcutt. Sage Northcutt likes being at 170. He's right now in Los Angeles training. They think Sage should not have gotten heat for his contract extension at the time because everyone's underpaid, and it just shows the fighters that they value are getting okay. They talked about the impact of Uriah Faber. Yeah. That's about it. That's all I liked it. I like Kendrick and Matt. They're very articulate in the way they kind of just present, their news, everything.
I really like
that.
that.
Have good outside sources. I like listening to those guys a lot.
I like that show a lot. The one thing that does get to me, though, is Matt, because of the way his computer and mic is set up. When he looks at Kendrick or the guest, he's looking off. He's looking to his right, but his mic is straight in front of him. So when he turns to look at the person while he's talking to him, he turns like this off mic, and as you guys can hear the difference, when I talk this way, you can hear me very clearly, and when I go like this to look to my right, you hear me far less clearly. And also they have, I think, less...
Hey, I'm going to talk like this for the rest of the podcast.
Oh my god.
Your fridge.
That must sound like a fucking echo. But yeah, no, it's... Andy, they have less omnidirectional mics than the ones I'm using right now, so, and the way we have it set up, so that's the only thing that kind of gets me on that show. But I really do like both of those guys. I think they're funny and real entertaining. And they were actually, I had them on my list last week when Ant Walker was on. Their conversation with Ant was great. Let's see. I think my only catch, or my can't miss rather, was Heavy Hands 221. Which did you listen to any of this?
Fortunately, I did not.
So we will actually play a clip of this for our... You know what? Your clip is actually going to be the second or the third clip. My clip's going to be the second clip because it was talking about last weekend's card that we were going to briefly cover, as in, say, like,
I'll give it
5 minutes worth of things about, and then move on. But, 221 was great from Heavy Hands. They talk about old person fights at 185, like Jacare versus Gastelum, or Anderson versus Glover, or Shogun versus Smith, that just make you feel bad.
Gastelum's not old, but I know the theme you're trying to get.
No, old person fights, like...
Oh, just feature
the reason why Gastelum smoked Jacare the way he did.
Oh, yeah.
Because Jacare is old.
The
reason why Corey Anderson smoked Glover the way he did is because Glover's looking old. The reason why Smith smoked Shogun the way he did is because Shogun's looking super old. They talk about Eddie Alvarez as kind of an anti-brawler, which I thought was a good description of him, especially as of late.
I can see that.
Where like his whole game plan is built around being able to shut down brawlers games by being a more tactical brawler. Whereas Poirier's really been evolving in his game recently, getting way better at sniping from the outside. And they said a big part of what this is going to come down to is whether Eddie can sustain damage and come back still at this point in his career. So I think is a great point. I think that's probably how a lot of that's going to go. Is like, because Poirier's going to land hard counters at some point.
Is that he'd be like, oh, I'm losing the fight, time to throw some knees.
Well, and it's like also it depends on like just how well Eddie's able to hang in while getting banged on. Because Dustin right now has shown he's pretty good at being able to hang in while getting clipped hard. But at this point, Eddie like is getting up there to the point where he got blasted in the Justin fight, but not like Poirier did, Like, and Eddie's had some tough knockouts, and not that long ago. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. We'll talk about it in a bit. They do mention that Stevens looked super impressive at featherweight on his recent run, and they talk about how it's going to be way too depressing to see Aldo lose. But
I heard another, I can't remember podcast say that, but they're kind of rude. They're like, oh, it's BBC. They're like, when Aldo loses tomorrow or on Saturday, like, does he retire? Or
That's
do we
rough.
It's like, okay,
how do you
guys,
just, like...
You can't just say...
Jesus, it's Aldo. That's crazy. Also, Aldo is working with Mikey Garcia right now. The fucking very high-level boxer. Champion boxer, I'm assuming.
Speaking of high-level boxing coach/fighter, guess who is working with Jason Perla at Ruka? Luke Rockhold.
Oh, I did see that.
Ironically.
Which is great, because that dude could really use some boxing defense. Because he has none. He's never had any boxing defense in his entire career. Yeah. So, theoretically that's cool. They talk about JJ versus Tisha a bit. Yeah, it's basically just they said it comes down to whether or not Tisha empties her bag of tricks before 3 rounds. But my favorite part of this whole episode, which we will hear in this next clip, and I'm not gonna say it fully, but I'll just say Phil McKenzie makes a comparison of the lightweight division to Metal Gear Solid 3, and you guys get to enjoy that clip, which is fucking brilliant, by the way. It's maybe the greatest MMA to video game comparison of all time.
God damn it, let me guess, Ocelot is Connor?
No, way good. It's way good. It's about the division, not a person. Okay. It's very good. Dude, it's really good. You're gonna like it. Even you guys listening, if you've played Metal Gear Solid 3 or know anything about Metal Gear Solid 3, you'd be like, damn, that's clever as shit. And then the only other can't miss I had, I'll mention briefly, was MMA Vivisection for Rizin 11, because it's fucking hilarious. First off, Vic is high as shit, evidently. If he's not high, they made a great bit about how he's high, and he looks very high and acts very high. They talk about Gillard versus Gomi, and how it should only exist in a time machine or in a moat.
I was about to say, is this fight in 2005 or 6?
This fight is on Saturday night.
2006?
2018.
Minus 12 years?
Nope.
Fuck!
It doesn't take place in a time machine or in a moat filled with barbed wire like they wanted. They also mention that... they compare this card to being interesting in a weird parking lot circus-y kind of way.
So the movie Warrior.
Kind of like that.
Fights in strip club parking lots.
Yeah, kind of like that. They talk about how Diego Brandao, who's fighting on this card.
Marlon Brando's fighting.
No, Diego Brandao, the guy who the guy who pulled a gun in a strip club and stabbed a person in the neck with a pencil. And in his last fight,
that was him. Oh, wow.
Yeah, former UFC fighter. Wow. And the guy in his last fight who was getting wrestle fucked decided he got eye poked too much and just stood up and climbed the cage and walked out of the building.
Oh yeah, you fucking told me.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So he is fighting on this card, which he was described.
God, that just reminds me of The Ultimate Fighter season 14 when everyone is afraid to fight him. Oh, dude, man.
Except
for Dennis Bermudez.
He smoked dudes on that show. He killed Bermudez in the finale. He fucking killed him.
Oh, that was him. Oh God, that was Bermudez who died.
No, so they describe Brandao as just being emotional problems plus jiu-jitsu and heavy hands, which is 100% accurate. At one point, Dio picks the guy with the most letters you need to use the alt key for in his name because it was such a fucked up matchup. They do mention the women's fights are 3 5-minute rounds, whereas the men's fights are a 10-minute and a 5-minute round, like old school Pride.
Okay.
It's kind of weird. And then at one point, Vic's kid starts showing up and playing with balloons and making fucking noise. And they end talking about MMA feet Twitter. So, it's a whole thing. Evidently, Roxanne, your cousin, is the queen of MMA feet Twitter, unfortunately.
Oh.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Hey, MMA feet Twitter is creepy, evidently. Well, not evidently. On name alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a fun episode and real goofy. Did you have any new shows you listened to?
Unfortunately, I did not.
So I have 1.5 new shows to mention. I'm not going to mention that much about it, but I did listen to the Steve Austin show with DC talking about damn gimmicks. Oh my God. So, okay.
It's like, who are you trying to be?
Fucking... First off, #lapsed, yo.
Wow.
Lapsed fan like a motherfucker. No, he literally opens the show talking about his damn gimmicks. The entire fucking time. Do it for your damn teeth. Fucking, it's awful. And then he talks to DC for a while. He's a big fan of DC.
That's cool.
DC mentions he loses around 40 pounds to make light heavyweight normally.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy.
That's nuts.
There's a lot of information. He says he normally starts camps 3 months out and then goes hard for 8 weeks in like a real heavy camp. He normally uses he breaks down his entire Aerodyne workout and heart monitoring and all that, because of course Steve Austin being a fucking corny.
How tall is Steve Austin? I know it's his fake wrestling.
I don't know.
He's probably like 6'1".
He was taller before his damn neck.
Yeah, too many fucking...
I can't fucking JP. I would... You damn flame broil gimmick. Everything just sounds like fucking that one dude from Savage MMA.
You mean Hank Hill?
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I'm always so mad at everyone is because my son.
Bobby. Or the guy from Keyboard Warriors, too.
Oh, yeah.
I was...
Oh, wait, no. It was it Keyboard Warriors? No. What was the one with your boy Wes?
I think it was Keyboard Warriors.
Wait, no, it was... I think it was...
Oh, wait, no, you're right.
The MMA something.
I don't remember. It was one of the ones with Marco on it on the other week.
But I remember your boy Wes Lineker.
Anyway, they talk a lot about just like the business. They talk about a ton of workout stuff. DC mentions that actually Steve brings up when he went on Raw at the Barclays Center and his heart rate just fucking skyrocketed. All the time DC's just giggling and loving the story. It's fucking great. It's all very endearing. He talks about what it's like sparring Kane and just trying to survive. And then taking the Brock fight, Stipe being mad. Austin does bring up the eye pokes, which is interesting. DC's like, I mean,
what
it just
did he say? He's just like, it happens. I mean, he's not wrong.
He's like, it was obviously not intentional. It's just a thing where I'm trying to gauge distance and I'm the shorter guy.
And yeah, you're the way fucking shorter guy.
When I lunge in, I'm not, like, if I don't close my hands quick enough trying to close distance, then shit happens.
So what is DC? He's like 5'10", 5'11".
He's like, yeah, a little bit taller than me, I think.
He's like short as shit. For that weight class.
Excuse
me. No.
Well, no. I mean, if I'm short as shit, you're short as shit, so I'm not taking it personally.
I know, I'm tiny. I'm saying
which will also come up later on this episode. Shouts to Gay for Longo. That's probably very confusing for everybody except for that dude.
It'll make sense.
Yeah, it sure will. And then DC talks about owning a couple poke places called Poke OG.
Oh, cool.
And talking about Ronda's improvements in pro wrestling, all that shit. It was a fun episode. Kumite Radio is hosted by John Hyun Ko. This is just a dude who posts interviews he does with fighters. He did a bunch with Rizin fighters, though. He did one with Melvin Gillard, where Melvin sounds very... So Melvin's fighting Takanori Gomi this weekend in Pride. Or not Pride, Rizin. Very upsetting.
So, Rizin?
Yeah, Rizin.
Fuck, dude, they should have called it Rizin.
I know. Well, it's actually called Prison.
It's
actually prison, so you can't call it prison.
No, that's the UFC.
No, but to be fair, I call Rizin, just like I call DAZN.
I'm sorry, do they legit actually pronounce it like Rizin?
It's supposed to be.
Literally Rizin,
it's supposed to be Rizin, but everyone calls it Rizin. Just like it's supposed to be DAZN, but everyone's gonna call it DAZN. Because I sure as fuck
start calling, hey man, do you watch Prison?
Do you watch Prison?
Yeah, I love Prison Break.
It's bad.
I love Oz.
Anyway, Melvin Gillard sounds very sober. He says it's the first camp in years he's actually taken super seriously. He's 172 pounds right now, and he only has to make 160 because it's kilograms.
No, that's right.
So he's saying like, I've never got to fight in Japan, but Kelvin Randleman's like my biggest idol, so I'm gonna go out there and dedicate this fight to Kevin Randleman, and like he sounds
bleach hair too.
He sounds well. He always has.
Well, yeah,
that was what it's from.
Like I'm saying, like I'd hope he still has bleach hair.
Oh, of course, I'm sure, but yeah, it just sounds super. Super motivated and like he says he's not partying or doing drugs or anything.
Just like Joey Jerkoff right now.
That's right, but it's impressive. I mean, if he looks anything like he sounds, I think he's gonna fucking smoke Gomi this weekend. So we'll see how that goes. Eric Urisk. Urisk. I think it's Eric Urisk.
Urisk, yeah, Urisk.
Of Phuket Top Team. He's a coach out there, the head coach. He shouts out a bunch of podcasts at the beginning, like Rogan, Duncan Trussell, Joey Diaz, Theo Vaughn, that he listens to. And then he talks about how he trained a lot with Neil Melanson and Eric Del Fiero down in Alliance. He still like goes and visits all the time. He's actually the former wrestling coach down there. And he's
right on.
And he's out in Phuket Top Team nowadays, working with people, and that's why you hear a lot of Alliance people go out to Thailand. most of the time they go out to Phuket Top Team because that's where
Okay.
that dude is because he was the former wrestling coach.
I like that.
Which is pretty cool. And he talks a lot
So
about...
it's kind of like their Master Tom.
Yeah, and he talks a lot about, like, no, he's the wrestling coach.
But in the sense that...
Yeah.
They
in
went
the sense of
overseas.
Thailand.
Yeah.
But, yeah, super interesting dude.
That's cool.
Really liked him, and he talks up Eric a ton, saying, like, Eric, I never lost a fight under Eric. Eric is one of the best coaches I've ever had had pleasure to work with, that kind of stuff. And then lastly, Caitlin Young calls in to talk about her fight with King Reina at Rizin 12, which is going to be fucking fun. Talks about being the matchmaker in Invicta. It was taped evidently prior to Invicta 30, which this episode we put out 2 days ago, so it must have been taped like a week or more ago, probably about a week. She's competing in Muay Thai, picking Rizin because everyone wants to fight in Japan, of course. And she's managed by Nick the Goat Thompson, which I didn't know, but that's hilarious. So I'm excited for that fight. But really good show. I wanted to pick a good quality Rizin, like podcast that covered Rizin as opposed to the Vivisection that covered Rizin. Because while they did cover the fights well, it was fucking chaos. So those are the main ones I wanted to shout out. Is there anyone else you wanted to mention?
No, that's it for me.
I think the only ones I wanted to mention, I mentioned the Eugene S. Robinson Show Stomper version 26, which you heard at the top of the show, about him being fucked over or essentially
fashionable
blown off.
rad.
Yeah, getting the PBR treatment from IMG exec.
See, I'd rather them say, "Hey man, I'm gonna give you a lifetime supply of PBR beer."
Yeah.
So let's go to a PBR event.
That's what he was hoping, I think. If I Did It was good, where they talked about Dana White's $1 Million Baby.
Yep, and would it Nash
the
say
MMA audience being in the...
More people would go to my house if I was hosting Dungeons and Dragons at the UFC pay-per-view.
Yep. Pretty good. Fights Gone By 92 was solid. It's a cheeky late week potty, as he described it. With a Rizin 11 preview. Pretty fun.
Oh, that's who I forgot to listen to because they mentioned on Reddit it was good. God damn it.
It was pretty good. Three Amigos 191 was good. They talked about Connor's court case, of course, for a bit. BK. They talked about Ortega getting compensated finally, partially, which is good to hear. Reebok's Awful DC shirt, and then some fight announcements and the Calgary card. Protect Your Neck 87 was a really good breakdown for UFC Calgary if you want some inside knowledge on that.
It's Dan Tom, right?
Yeah, Dan Tom of MMA Junkie. MMA Roadshow episode 174 was good. It's Danny Austin, Mike Bond, and John Morgan all in Calgary talking about that.
Isn't Calgary enthused by cowboys for some reason?
Yeah. There's a bunch of cowboys. It's it's
so
pretty
fucking
country.
Weird.
Well, it's like a cattle it's a country ass town.
Oh, okay, so it's their country province.
Yeah. It's known as
Alberta.
the Hickey version.
In Alberta, yeah, it's west. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Sorry, I can't remember my provinces of Canada.
Yeah. Oh, it's not Saskatchewan. I know
it's
that
definitely
much.
Alberta. That's west.
I know. Oh, so John Morgan on this does mention that Conor vs. Khabib is not going to happen in New York. So he talked to Conor's people.
So just Vegas at T-Mobile?
Well, he talked to Conor's people, and Conor's people were like, "Yeah, he has to pay too much in taxes in New York. It's not going to happen."
Yeah.
Which is a good point.
Plus, the last time he was in New York.
Yeah, I haven't heard anyone talk about that. And they previewed the Calgary card. And then Jerry MMA Show 36 with Colin and Schaub was fine for the last hour because they actually talked fights.
How was Brandon? Did he?
They were annoying. Well, they were actually the shows with Schaub and Cowan are fine because Rogan checks both of them and they check each other constantly. It's when any of them go on their own that it gets dicey. If you have Schaub on his own or Brian on his own, they start getting preachy, but when you get them together, they all shit on each other enough to keep them in line.
Joe, what's my favorite state to just travel to?
You guys missed the sweet leg crossing move.
My favorite state to travel to is Alaska. I think you know why, Joe.
No, it's not even that. It's I'm just saying, Monica Lewinsky looks like she just got some dick. Not Monica Lewinsky. Wow, that's very Mona Lisa. It was the Mona Lisa.
It was 2000.
No, the Mona Lisa looks like they just got some dick. Then Brian's like, actually, according to studies, they think it was
Might have been
Leonardo
a
da Vinci.
man. Yeah.
It was Leonardo da Vinci in drag, and that's why he's smiling like that. Brian's like, it's not smiling. I don't know why I'm repeating this. It's not worth listening to.
That's from history.
MMA Roadshow or MMA Roasted was had Alan Joban in. He talked about fucking up his neck wrestling Eve Edwards.
Yeah, I listened to the MMA Heat when he talked about a lot of stingers. He had like a bulging disc. It was fucked up. Dude,
Yeah.
It's a shame.
MMA Roasted was pretty good. It's just them talking shit. Alan at one point tells a story about going to Cancun on a senior trip, jacking steroids, Viagra, and painkillers from a pharmacy, and then doing them and passing out in the bathroom. That's a thing that happened.
Fun.
It was a very brief but crazy ass story. And then Adam calls Austin Vanderfort.
You know what? By the way, you know what it sounds like? It almost sounds like he was simultaneously there to shoot a Versace shoot, and it's like, how do I make myself get
or whatever?
fucked up? You know? Oh wait, when in Cancun?
No, but it was senior trip, so he was like fucking 17 or 18 at the time.
Oh, this is when he was younger.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
super
Never
young.
mind. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
I thought this was like a couple.
No, you can't be taking fucking steroids a couple years ago.
Yeah, true.
So then they call Austin Vanderfort, who is of course Paige Van Zant's fiance. And when they call him, Paige actually answers. So he talked to Paige for like
That's amazing.
15, 20 minutes because he left his phone in her car while she's driving back to the gym.
That's amazing.
So they talked to Paige for a bit, and then Adam, of course, asks a bunch of inappropriate questions, like trying to figure out why. At one point, he calls Austin the cooler of Paige's Instagram. There's a lot of that. We talked to Austin. He asked how Austin pulled Paige and talks about winning Contender Series. Evidently, Austin also mentions that Paige wrote the Mr. Van Zant tweet that everyone always quotes, which is even worse. So bad.
Yeah, there's no way he likes that shit.
Other fun notes: the boob job is a birthday gift to Austin. Yeah. It was a fucking series of events during that interview. And then they talk about War Machine getting married in jail, UFC Calgary and Rizin 11.
War Machine, I thought he killed
No, he's still in jail and he got married.
Oh, he tried to kill himself.
Yeah, unfortunately it didn't take.
And so who did he get married to?
Some whore, I'm guessing. No one in particular.
Wait, is he like in a conjugal visit where he's meeting people? Or
Yeah.
He married a guy.
No, he didn't marry someone in jail. That's what they said too.
Yeah, I was like, sorry, you
Like, you need
confused
to
me. I was
clarify
like,
that.
it checks out either way.
Yeah, I wish it was the second one.
Yeah.
And then they talk about Greg Wilson's awful sex life. That was pretty much all I had for that. But it's a classic MMA roasted episode, but it's maybe worth checking out. And then any news? I think the only news I have. Holly Holmes' brother is starting a vodka distillery in Albuquerque called Blue Clover, which I will 100% go buy a bottle of when it's available.
Well.
We will cover that on the show. It sounds like Jake Smith is going to be on an episode of 81 to 92 again soon with Joel.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Brother Sin.
Yeah. # would listen. I'm very excited for that. And Mag War Season 2 of the MMA Alphas League, or the MMA Community Alphas League, is going to be starting on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm going to have to set my auto draft list tonight.
You need to remember to do that, or else you're going to make everybody sit there and wait while it takes down the full 60 seconds.
# fantasy football fucking pet peeves.
Yeah, don't be that guy. But if you guys if anyone is interested in joining, we still do have one spot left, so if you're a listener who is at all interested in fantasy MMA, go on the MMA community forums. There's a link in the description to the forums, and then if you just search TMMAC Mag War Season 2, it'll come up, and there's info in there about how to sign up. We have one spot left, so if you want to jump in, go ahead and do it. And that should be a lot of fun, man. It's pretty close. I think I'm probably going to win the MMA Community League for Season 1. And then you and Lofitz are pretty fucking close.
I actually am probably going to win, to be honest, because tomorrow's the last event.
He only has like one pick
he has a flex. And I have... Spoiler, if Dustin Poirier knocks out Alvarez, I win the league. Like, I literally will win the league tomorrow.
Which means you and me will be coming in fucking Champ.
There's no way. And if he wins the decision, there's no way I don't win the league. I will win the league.
No, that's what I'm saying. So we'll come in podcast champs of the
basically
of the MMA or the MMA Community Season 2 League.
But the running theme is this whole fucking season I have come up short each quarter by about 2 points. So
which is crazy because you hit 160 every single quarter.
Yeah, it shows how consistently I score. Fucking goddamn, I just have great fucking lineups.
Dude, it's insane, yeah. As a matter of fact, we should shout out listener Dave Furlongo, which we mentioned earlier, who I was talking to through DMs since he's not on the, unfortunately not on the forums anymore. And
wait, did he get banned?
It's a long fucking story. It's just a long story. But essentially, we were going back and forth. He's like, I mentioned, I'm bringing over my buddy who's fucking killing it. He got over 60 points every goddamn quarter in the UG League. And he's like, oh shit. I was like, I don't even know how he does it. Half the time he picks it the night before and it just works out well. He's like, so he's super lucky? I was like, well, yeah, except for the fact that he's like 5'6".
Yeah.
Of course, good joke, right? And he goes, you son of a bitch. I'm like 5'6", and my name's also Chris. I'm like, okay, well, good news, I'm not that much taller. And also, there's now 30% Chris's in the Season 2 League.
Cool.
So
there you go.
If there's no other Chris's...
I'm just going to change my team name to Chris 1 or some dumb shit.
Yeah, we should really have Chris 1, 2, and 3. That's really how it should
go. It would confuse the fuck out of everyone.
Of course. And I'm also not giving up Salty Kawa. I'm not going to lie.
That's too good.
But anyway, we'll be back in a minute. We're going to talk for 5-10 minutes about Invicta 30 and UFC whatever, and then we'll be back for our breakdown.
We'll talk about 5 minutes Invicta, 1 minute Hamburg.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't want to... The one made the other one more depressing, and the bad decisions of the first one didn't help. So we'll be back, and we'll make that happen.
Yeah, so, I don't know if this is the thing, we've seen, turnover in the light heavyweight division, but it seems almost entirely due to just entropy. Just, it's like that, I don't know if you've ever played, Metal Gear Solid 3, but there's a boss fight in that where you could apparently, I think, change the clock on your PlayStation. You're up against this old dude who was a sniper, and you could change the clock on your PlayStation, and then he would die of old age. You could just win the boss fight that way. And that is basically kind of feels like what happened in the top 2 fights on this card.
All right, everyone. No beer opening.
That's right. I already opened it.
But we're back for a very, very brief segment 2.
Extremely brief.
Yeah. So let's get into it. We have a double whammy here, meaning that 2 cards I did not watch.
One of which was good. The other of which was on Fox. So
Chris, you're gonna go ahead and get into this.
Yeah.
What did you think of Invicta FC 30?
It was great. Mostly because it was at Fight Pass pacing, which always helps. I literally was watching this card in the MMA community thread about this card. I mentioned, holy shit, this pacing is pretty upsetting. I think this is going to make the card tomorrow morning very, very bad. Because I think there was 8 fights on this card, and I think it took 2.5 hours.
Wait, this card took 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Which, 8 fights in 2.5 hours versus 13 fights in 7.5 hours.
I was going to say, that's average, right? Yeah, the 8 fights in 2.5 hours, isn't that pretty average? Because 30 minutes.
That's average.
Isn't it usually it's 30 minutes in between fights? So 8 fights times 30 minutes, that'd be
Well, but because that's when you don't run 45 minutes of commercials between every fight.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, this pacing really, really made the other one rough. and it was pretty clear. Scroll down a bit. Well, actually, I'll start at the top. Jin Yufrey lost a unanimous decision to Mina Grusander. As far as I'm concerned, despite whatever the actual decision was, that's
Wasn't it, like, split?
hot garbage. That's a hot garbage decision.
I was looking on Reddit under the comments.
4-1 Mina.
A lot of people were saying robbery.
4-1 Mina.
So was this an instance of robbery?
Yeah. It was bad. There was a lot of bad judging on this card. I had it 4-1 Mina easily.
Is it because she's prettier? I'm kidding, I didn't go there. Moving on. So how was the co-main event?
Felicia Spencer fucking smashed Helena. And,
like we said she would.
And also, Felicia's a goddamn beast. Oh, you know, we should pull up our picks for this, actually, in the background.
Oh, shit.
It's alright. It's easy to do. If you minimize, you go over that, and then minimize the... Then just go to open a new tab.
I know.
But Felicia Spencer got the win via RNC in the second, and then called out Megan Anderson.
Interesting.
Yeah, she's like, hey, I'm happy to go to the UFC. I'm happy to fight whoever. I know Megan Anderson's in the crowd this evening, and I think that'd be a fun fight. Because, of course, Kansas City, Megan Anderson was there. So, yeah. It's funny. I didn't see my notes about Jin Yufrey, and I noticed I recorded it as a whack decision. But yeah, Felicia Spencer looked fucking fantastic. Super dominant, and I'm excited to see her going forward. Honestly, with how solid her wrestling game is, it really makes me think the Megan Anderson fight would be fun as shit. Because she would out-wrestle the shit out of her.
Based on what Holly Holm fucking did.
Yeah, Heather Jo Clark got the unanimous decision over Novaes.
But the judges got that wrong?
I don't know. I don't remember that fight well enough, and I was not...
So how did Soldier of God Miranda Maverick do? Said she lost.
Yeah, not great. Split decision. The problem was all
Did
of
she
these...
not pray hard enough?
Yeah, she didn't pray hard enough. Let's move on. Stephanie Geltmacher got the KO via ground and pound in the first.
Cool, right on.
Yeah, looked fucking dominant. And speaking, looked legit scary, actually, at that division. Speaking of legit dominant, Zappatella fucking dominated DeCourcy in this fight, if I remember right.
Que bella.
Super impressive. Elise Anderson ended up getting the triangle over Stephanie Alba, and Erin Blanchfield got the split decision over Brittany Cloudy.
Called that one.
Yeah, a couple of those were weird decisions, and on a rewatch, I'm not sure I would agree with a lot of them. But that was Invicta 30, and like I said, that lasted 2.5 hours for 8 fights, and that was less than 12 hours earlier than when this UFC card started for me.
So,
this was a fucking
I was at
drag.
Work. I didn't even bother trying to pull this shit up when I was waking up and I was driving to work. I just figured, you know what? I'll just watch it later.
It's the right way to do it. Because you would have skipped 4 hours of commercials.
Once I kind of heard about how it went down, I'm just like, oh boy.
It's not even how it went down, dude. It's the pacing that makes it so much worse on top of it.
How do you want to cover this, since this is up to you? Do you want to start from the bottom and get progressively better?
So, I'll start from the bottom in that, if we start at the very bottom... So, what happened was, I woke up...
You did very well in picks, bud.
I did very well in picks on this card. I went, 10 for 13?
You went 10-3. Yeah.
Yeah. I did pretty good. But... basically how this went, I'll break it down very quickly. I woke up in the morning, I watched the first fight, and I was feeling like death. And I was like, alright, I need to go get food. Super hungover.
Oh, fantastic.
Because this was on...
Because you knew this card would give you a hangover soberly, right?
Well, no, because I watched Invicta, and then I stayed up watching some fucking crazy Japanese organization or some shit in the middle of the night at like 3 a.m.
I thought you were gonna say you stayed up and watched an epic Nicolas Cage movie.
No.
You drink and then.
I think it was like a Taiwanese promotion or something. I don't know. It was some shit. It was some weird fucking Asian.
#Weird China.
Yeah, it was just some weird Asian organization I was watching. And then, so I did try to get enough sleep, but I still felt like death. Went over, grabbed a breakfast burrito. I grabbed Founders breakfast stout.
I saw that bottle cap.
Yeah, I grabbed Founders breakfast stout. I grabbed a breakfast burrito, and I grabbed and I got that dope weed. And that was my morning.
A revelation of a specific stout that is now out in fucking 6-packs. I don't want to bring this to our podcast next week because it's 11.5% per fucking bottle.
What kind of stout?
But it's Stone's Woot Stout. The collaboration with actor Will Wheaton and some other...
Which they've done for 5 years now?
They've done it for a long time, but it's finally in a 6-pack.
Jesus, it might be 10 years now.
I'm going to look this up like on Beer Advocate, but if
it was
I remember...
like 06, I think, when I started doing that.
It's such a fantastic tasting stout. If I
never
bring
had
it,
stout.
I'm going to have like maybe one.
Well, that's the only way to do that. Because it's only in tall bottles.
No, it's in regular 6-pack.
They made a 6-pack of Woot Stout?
Yeah, it's like $17, of course. But
that's not bad.
But watch, dude, it's... Yeah.
Where's their $17...
Linda Vista Liquor, dude.
Pick it up.
Yeah.
I'll throw you 10 for it.
We'll fucking drink 2. I'll drink maybe 2 and then I'll call it a night. But, it's a dangerous beer. It's a fantastic beer. Very dangerous, but yeah. Anyways, what were we just talking about?
Right, this
sorry,
garbage.
I got distracted by your founder.
Ultra garbage card. So that's how the morning started out. Is I watched the first 2 fights. I went to the liquor store to get beer, and I went to the Mexican shop to get burritos. Which, how far would you say those are from this place, Chris?
The
liquor store and the Mexican food shop that I go to?
No, it's about like
600 feet?
70 yards apart.
Yeah. It's very close.
Yeah.
So I walked, after the Darko Stozic fight, I walked over there.
No, it's cool.
I grabbed both of those. I came back. Manny Bermudez already fought, and there was another break happening. Because Manny Bermudez looked impressive as fuck against Davey Grant. He caught a submission via triangle, but it was a crazy series of subs that he was going through where it was just a constant scramble. He had a triangle, switched to armbar, switched to triangle, and put him fucking unconscious with it. It was very nasty and super impressive. Also, Stosic absolutely killed Jeremy Kimball, kind of like we expected. And
he gets all the powers for the baby.
Yeah, and Stasiak just got outworked and powered by Ping Yonglu's hooks pretty clearly.
So was Chinese MMA kind of getting some good representation?
Yeah, man, I was very impressed.
Shouts out to you.
So so that's the thing is there's a couple guys like Yadong and Jangling. Some of those guys are just power. They're good wrestlers with a lot of power. And he seems to be another one of them where I don't know about his wrestling necessarily, but it's good enough to shut down takedowns some takedowns, and his power is fucking real. And he had 3 rounds worth of cardio for it, which I didn't expect, so that was impressive. Dude, keep your motherfucking eye on Alexander Rakic. I think it's Rakic. Alexander Rakic is a motherfucking monster. He 10-24'd Justin Ledet on one of those scorecards.
How do you do that? 30-25?
3 10-8s. Wow. He says Cain Velasquez is a big influence on me, and I think he has one of the highest.
As boring as that would be, I kind of want to watch that.
Dude, you should watch it. It's incredible. He has one of the highest striking volumes ever put out at light heavyweight. I think it was 214-15 or something like that.
So you're telling me Ledet's gonna have CTE?
Dude, Ledet should not have been. Ledet shouldn't have been sent out for the 3rd. It was fucking horrible, dude. He was just getting ground and pounded so goddamn bad the entire time. Super, super impressive, and I'm happy to be wrong about that one because, man, he was very dominant.
It's like Freddie Roach has joined us.
Let's not talk about it. Nat Narimani and
Oh, this is the
Khalid
guy where,
Taha.
like, he's gonna ruin this guy. How was that fight?
Nat Narimani looked really, really good. He ended up getting the decision against Khalid. Does not surprise me. He kind of just outworked him and out-wrestled him from what I remember. I'm not even going to pretend to remember. Oh, of course. Hey, if I was to say, hey, Emil Weber Mech lost the decision, how do you think he lost it? What would you say?
He got wrestled.
He got wrestle-fucked the entire time. Done. Let's see. What else we got? Damir Hadzovic versus Nick Hein. Nick Hein got...
So, did all the Germans lose? Oh, looks
No,
like
Nasrat.
you lose.
Nasrat.
Oh, see, Nasrat won.
And Abu...
Oh, that
There's a couple.
motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, the evil motherfucker one.
The brutal twin.
Yep, brutal twin one. Anyway, Nasrat looked like a mini Gastelum, and everyone kept saying it, like just like we did last week, and a couple other people have in the past. Nasrat just 100% Kevin Gastelum to Diakese, just like
Kevin
you both
or
said.
Kelvin?
Did I say Kelvin?
He said Kevin.
See, the problem is...
You know, I'm kidding. I'm fucking with you because people say it fast. It's easy to say Kevin.
Well, no. The problem is I have a fighter in that MMA Tycoon game that we always link in the show named Kelvin Handelman. So I autocorrect
I was
Kevin
about to say,
to
was
Kelvin.
your brain thinking Kevin Randleman?
Yeah, well, no. I autocorrect Kelvin to Kevin because I assume I'm trying not to talk about, like,
Not the
the
temperature,
fantasy
right?
one. Oh, no. I'm all about them Kelvins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, just see me, I was terrible at science, but I always remember, how do you recognize the difference between Fahrenheit and Kelvin? I'm like, isn't that a name? That's how dumb I was in science.
Checks out.
Sorry.
I don't science, bro.
Yeah, neither do I.
Anyway.
Just the sweet science.
Great. Danny Roberts got a decision.
How did he look?
This is where I started blocking out during this card, not from booze, but from just I started cleaning. If I'm going to be honest with you, as you can tell by this place, I started getting bored and cleaning.
So you blacked out from the smell of the bleach?
No, not even blacked out. Like I just stopped paying attention to like anything other than like, oh hey, it looks like Danny Roberts is doing okay early, or Zawada's doing okay early.
You blacked out from lack of interest.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Marcin Tybura, Seven Struve. Seven Struve split his whole goddamn chin open.
Ow.
To the point where at one point he sticks his tongue through this part of his lower lip.
Oh, like that? Like literally?
Yeah,
Oh,
he got blasted with an elbow when he got taken down by Marcin Tybura.
Ow.
And was able to stick his tongue through like 2 inches below his lip.
Ow.
Just straight out.
Ow.
And the doctor looked at it and was like, you're good. And then he got hit with another elbow later. Still was good. He did work his...
So it looked like Blades versus Overeem, except on the bottom of his lip? Like that big gash?
No, it wasn't a big gash. It was just like a straight slit that was leaking everywhere. It was pretty bad. But Stefan did do really good at working his jab and his leg kick in comparison to his other fights. Still not as good as you would have wanted, but better for sure.
So, what I want to know is how did Mr. Pants on Fire Abu Azitar do?
Imagine if Phil Baroni fought Vitor Miranda.
Okay.
So he just walked forward
Just
and
volume,
threw...
volume, hooks,
not
hooks,
even...
hooks, volume against the cage volume.
Okay, I should say if Phil Baroni in his first pro fight fought Vitor Miranda, where it's just like crazy off balance overhands that he then was able to randomly scramble to top if he had to, and then he throws weird, awkward, violent ground and pound, and then just repeats that process.
Basically,
over and
a Derek Lewis fight when he gets top control. Yeah.
like Derek Lewis with less composure.
Okay.
Like, more like... Oh, God, I don't even know who to compare him to. Like, who throws every single punch off balance?
And Ngannou was kind of up there.
Nah, he's not even... It's way worse than that. Like, Matt Riddle, maybe?
Yeah.
Where, like, you're, like, on one foot for half of the punches you throw
Yeah.
because you're throwing so fucking hard. I don't know. I don't have a good comparison, but yeah, it was not.
Well, leave it at that.
He won,
he
but
didn't set Miranda on fire, which is what matters.
Yeah.
What do you think of Corey Anderson? I kept hearing this his best performance yet. He Russell Fox, sure. Didn't both of us pick him?
He just outworked him, 100%. You can minimize that and find out, but yeah, he just 100% outworked him. Pretty clearly. I was pretty confident in.
I chose Teixeira
because you had Teixeira.
Boxing's an idiot.
I actually was. I was hesitant because.
I had Anderson in fantasy. Why did I? Oh my god.
Well, because Anderson, in his last fight, got melted by who was it? OSP.
Yeah.
Somebody like that. So.
Who's OSP?
I will literally pick this mostly on age and Anderson's ability to take a shot, which is still pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
He took a shot or two in this fight, but was still able to hang in there and just constantly outwork Glover and gas him out, and also put some heat on him. And then Anthony Smith comes out and fucking kills Shogun.
I wasn't able to see the finish, dude, because it got just censored because I couldn't watch it. So
you know what? What we're gonna do? We're gonna finish this segment here.
Let's stop pretty much now.
Yeah, we're gonna. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna finish this segment here. We're gonna watch the Shogun fight since that'll take all of a minute.
90 seconds.
And then we will be back with our picks for this UFC Calgary card, which is gonna be a fucking banger. So I can't wait. Be right back.
Right, before we talk about the light heavyweight division, which Anthony Smith has upset alongside Khalil Roundtree Jr., did you see this open letter that DC wrote to Gustafsson this week? Did you see this?
I don't think I have seen it.
You've not seen it?
No, I've not seen it.
Well, I've been quite lucky here. We've managed to get a recording of him dictating the letter. Here it is.
Dear Alex, I don't know what happened to you, man. You've always been a stand-up guy, but your behavior changed. From calling a guy out the other day after he got knocked out to offering to fight me knowing I got a broken hand. Man, I respect you as a fighter, but you and I won't share the octagon again. I'm disappointed in you, who you become. You're so entitled, man. I can't deal with delusional people. Our time has passed, brother. See you at the commentary table. Hashtag we go our separate ways.
All right, everyone. We're back for the final segment.
Sure are.
Of the night. Going to be previewing, which, in my opinion, and I'd say yours too, is probably one of the best cards of the year that's not a pay-per-view.
So, I forgot to mention earlier, I know why this is one of the best cards of the year that's not a pay-per-view. And do you know why? Do you have any idea why this is a very good card?
I was going to guess because there was a fallout of some fights at 227, the next pay-per-view, but what's the real reason? Can you enlighten everyone?
You know whose birthday it is this weekend?
Dana White?
Yep. You know who's going to the card this weekend?
Dana White.
Yeah.
He's got to be there for his own birthday.
So he made this card for himself.
Oh, then thank you, Dana. Thank you.
I guess.
I mean, he's probably like...
You think he paid him more by making a good card?
No. I mean, the pay is going to stay the same.
I heard on John Morgan's podcast that he pretty much just decided, like, hey, I said I was going to help Calgary out. It turns out the Calgary card, because the last Calgary card was garbage.
Oh.
And it was fucked up. So he said, I'll make it up to Calgary. That was, I don't know, fucking forever ago, it feels like. And then, Dana figured out, oh, wait, the Calgary card is on my birthday. Why don't I just have a bunch of fun fights for my birthday? And I heard the main card was secured within 2 days after that.
Of course it was.
So
I remember this.
So all of a sudden it makes a lot more sense, right?
Aldo versus Stevens. That fight was announced like 3 months ago. I think.
All of a sudden it makes a lot more sense. So I found that very, very interesting information from John Morgan.
I mean, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. Also, if you guys are listening to MMA Roadshow, you're not doing MMA podcasting right, because it's fantastic.
We'll get right into this here.
This fight is weird.
So this is a lightweight bout between American Devin Powell with a professional record of 8 wins and 3 losses, going up against Mexican fighter Alvaro Herrera, aka the Sport Billy, record of 9 wins, 5 losses. Devin Powell is on a current loss streak of 2 losses. So is Alvaro a current loss streak of 2 losses.
It's very weird fight.
Devin Powell, last time we saw him, he fought in June of 2017 against Daryl Horcher, whom you may have seen fight a current lightweight.
I like that correction. I never would have made it.
Yeah, a current lightweight champion, Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Also, we should shout out briefly right now for 1 second that, by the way, shouts out to Gary Tonin and Renzo Gracie.
Yeah, Renzo Gracie.
Both choking people out.
Like fucking 50, isn't he like 50, 51?
54, I think.
Or I think he's 51. I saw Frankie post something today. Right. He's like 51 years old and he still got it.
Yeah, him and Gary Tonin both got RNCs and won championship, which great matchmaking, won championship. Anyway, we'll keep going.
So, Devin Powell, last time we saw him, he lost a split decision to Daryl Horcher. Before that, he lost unanimously to Drakkar Klose. Before that... okay, so he's just had 2 fights in the UFC.
Yeah.
His opponent, Mexican fighter Alvaro Herrera, this is his he's a UFC veteran, more so. This is his 5th UFC fight. Technically 6, because he was on Ultimate Fighter Latin America Season 2. But yeah, the last time we saw him, he got Von Flu, whatever you want to call it.
Von Flu, because it's the man's name who invented
I
it.
know. It's only Von Flu when OSP does it.
Yeah.
Jordan Rinaldi, Von Flu choked him. Last episode, which was basically a year ago, August 5th, 2017. For that, he got darsed by Vicente Luque, so he kind of has had the trend of getting choked out.
Yeah, he is subbable as fuck from a front headlock series at least. Or from a... Wins,
he's won by rear naked, he's won by Geach. Yes, so see where I'm going here, he's also won by triangle. I'm going to go with Devin Powell via sub. How about you? What do you think?
That is totally realistic. I am also going Powell via sub. Alvaro is orthodox and he is super vulnerable on the ground. He does have a decent 3-2 that he throws super fucking hard.
Okay.
But Powell he's orthodox. He has a heavy kick game, especially from his front leg. He has lots of feints and throwaway punches that he uses to set up that high, he'll either throw the right straight and then come up high with the left high kick, or he'll try and sneak some sneaky 1-2 feints into a high kick or into a body kick. He does get stuck on bottom against high-level wrestlers, but I don't think that's going to be a problem in this fight. And he has a solid front headlock game where he subs people via guillotine a lot of times. So, yeah.
Alrighty. So next up we have a women's strawweight fight between 2 veterans.
I'm kind of torn on this one.
Canadian Randa Marcos, who's a quiet storm. That name is an oxymoron, because I don't think storms are usually quiet. It's going off against American Nina Ansaroff.
Also the least liked, maybe, tough contestant of all time by their... Well, no, that's not true.
Was she the one who was bullied?
No. I don't know. All I know is
was she the bully? I just remember there was that season
I know
that
people didn't like
was
her.
On, and Rose is on, and then
Carla and all them.
Someone bullied her, or it's the other way around. I fucking can't. Well, it doesn't matter.
She's not liked. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Last time I saw her fight, she had fought Alexa Grasso in a fight. I kind of thought she won. I can't remember. But before that, or after that, excuse me, she's coming off a win unanimously over Juliana Lima. Nina Ansaroff is coming off a victory over one of the podcast favorite fighters, San Diego's own Angela Hill.
Yeah, fan favorite and podcast favorite.
And before that, she had defeated Jocelyn Jones-Liebarger via rear naked choke. It's interesting because Randa Marcos is a tough out. She's a grinder. She kind of likes to stay in the pocket, and I feel like kind of just
definitely a grinder. I feel like a lot of her game is walking forward with chain punches into a clinch, into a takedown, into top game.
Ansaroff is kind of more surgical with the way she kind of chooses
Especially
her
in the Angela
strikes.
Hill fight, she looked more like a classic Muay Thai striker, where
And this
like,
is
working
honestly
her Taekwondo.
why I'm choosing Ansaroff. I'm just saying it right now. I think she's going to be able to just kind of stick to the outside, kind of force random markups in, and just basically just kind of piece her from the outside. She's not going to... If it does come to the clinch, she'll use her Muay Thai experience to kind of...
And Taekwondo, she has that really good kicks from
and
her
dude, she's
Taekwondo.
fucking training with Nunes.
Heavy counters
Jesus
as of late,
Christ.
especially against Angela Hill.
I'm going to go via decision, because I don't really see too many finishes.
Yeah, you're not a lot of
What do you think?
Not a lot of KOs a strawweight. I'm going Nina via decision. For similar reasons, I think Nina is mostly... The only thing that makes me curious is whether or not Random Marcos can put her against the cage and really work like a rough, long, Randy Couture style decision against her, because otherwise I think Nina Ansaroff from distance probably picks her apart, hits a lot of leg kicks. Or if she avoids the leg kicks because of the takedowns, I think Nina Ansaroff still pieces her up with big counter hooks and just distance Muay Thai style striking.
All right, so next up we have a flyweight bout.
This is an interesting
bout
one.
Between American Dustin Ortiz and Brazilian Mateus Nicolau.
By the way, Mateus Nicolau's record is crazy.
Yeah, 13-1-1.
And the people he's lost to are fucking impressive.
So Dustin Ortiz has a record of 18-7. He's 29.
By the way, how is Dustin Ortiz only 20? He's the same age as me? Really? I feel like I've been watching this dude for 10 years.
He's been fighting since.
Oh my god, I have been watching him for almost 10 years.
He beat Luke Thomas. Just kidding, Lucas Thomas. Anyways, last time we saw him, he's on a 2-fight win streak. He defeated Alexandre Pantoja, who's no
slouch.
Yeah.
Hector Sandoval as well. And then his most recent loss is Brandon Moreno via RNC, which that shit happens.
Before that,
dog.
he beat Zach McCosky. And
Yeah,
then fucking
size.
fought Juicy Formiga and Wilson Hayes. So
Yeah, that's a
fuck
strong
all y'all
lineup.
who are fucking shitting on the flyweight division. There's some motherfuckers.
Yeah. That's a great
Mateus Nicolau.
He's on a hell of a run in the last 2 fights.
Yeah, he beat Louis Smolka. He
Also hit a
defeated
Japanese
Moraga,
necktie against
Bruno Mosqueda.
I don't even know who Bruno is, but the Japanese neckties are always
This
fun.
is kind of tough to call.
I agree.
But I think I'm going to go Ortiz via decision.
Really? What for?
No idea why.
Experience or?
Yeah. And just who he's fought. Strength of schedule.
So there's a couple reasons why I'm leaning Ortiz as well. Ortiz switches stances a lot. He has very slick boxing and head movement for compared to a lot of the weight class. He does also have very solid wrestling, and he's been at AKA the last month or so, I've heard. Which immediately when I heard that, okay, I'm going Dustin Ortiz. If I hear you went to AKA, I'm picking you. Especially as a dude who's fighting a guy who is a low-volume counter kickboxer with good counter doubles and trips, and mostly relies on big hooks and overhands, and a couple low kicks here and there, at least from what I've seen from him. So, yeah, I'm going Dustin Ortiz. Nicolau, I believe, is the favorite. You know what? Let me pull up the odds for these.
So do you have Ortiz by decision?
Yeah, I've got Ortiz by clean decision. Let's see. The odds on these so far. First fight is Devin Powell versus Herrera. Devin Powell is a -110 to a +100 Herrera. Also, I'm using 5 Diamonds odds because I feel like they're always the most genuine. Random Marcos is a +120 to a -130 Nina Ansaroff. Sounds about right to me. Here's a weird one, Chris. Mateus Nicolau is a -178 to a +167 Dustin Ortiz. I might actually play that.
Okay.
Especially in a parlay. I'll probably put that in a parlay with
it's not a bad
one or
parlay
two other
play.
people tonight.
This next fight is a women's flyweight bout against Canadian Alexis Davis and American Caitlin Chikagian. Alexis Davis has a record of 19-7. Going up against Chikagian's 10-1 record. Alexis Davis, I guess she fights out of Cesar Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, but I don't really know.
I don't. Does she still?
Sure.
Maybe. According to Tapology, we'll say.
Yeah, according to Tapology, her last 2 fights, we saw her in December defeat Liz Carmouche via close split decision.
Which, by the way, I rewatched that fight today. She did not win that fight. Her eye looked like some fucking E.T. nonsense. I don't know if you remember that fight, where her entire left side of her head was popping out of her entire left side of her head.
I think I remember that. She looked like the nurse from South Park.
It was not. She got bombed on with some overhand rights from Liz.
Before that, she fought one of the featherweight goats, Cindy Dandois, who's not afraid to fight.
Oh yeah, elite striker Cindy Dandois.
Before that, she had lost Sarah McMahon at winner Reserve Kaufman. She fought Honda Housey. She's fought a lot of them. Caitlin Chukagian, who trains at Ricardo Almeida and Mark Henry's gym in New Jersey. Last time I saw her, she won over Italian Maramel Barella. Before that, she beat Mexican fighter Irina Aldana. She hasn't lost to Liz Carmouche, so they have pretty similar schedules. Resumes.
She's got a pretty fucking impressive run. Like when you scroll down on as I like to refer to her, Chukagian.
Yeah, I don't know.
You didn't get the My Sweet Ki reference?
Ki.
You remember that she Ki's during every single strike that she throws? She throws out the ha! The Holly Holm fucking Ki.
Is she the Kia? Wait, is that her?
No, she's not the Kia, but she is the ha! Like the...
No, I thought that was the Chinese chick from like a month ago. Remember there was a Chinese...
There's more than one of them.
Well, I know like it's a common thing.
Anyway,
okay, sorry, that's why I was confused. You guys, if I watch another one of Chukagian's fights, I'm like, oh, Chris was right. Clearly.
Anyway, if you scroll down, her record is fucking solid.
Yeah.
Mara Romero Barella, Irina Aldana wins. Lost to Liz Carmouche. Wins over Lauren Murphy.
You mean Barb?
Wins over Sajara Eubanks, Melinda Fabian. Like, I know those are a while back, but beating Sajara Eubanks, who's the, as far as I'm concerned, top 125er aside from maybe Valentina Montano.
You mean Shevchenko?
No, I mean those two.
Oh, I thought you meant Valentina Montano. I was like so good.
Well, because if I just said Nico, everyone would think Price, like a fucking asshole.
Nike Pierce.
Yeah, Nike Pierce. So, no, of course I mean Nico Montano and Valentina Shevchenko.
Nike the Hammer Fist Pierce.
But Alexis Davis, while getting mollywopped by Liz, also had moments though on the ground and in scrambles. So it's an interesting fight for sure.
So it's kind of like grappler versus striker.
I mean, is grappler versus striker? Yeah, 100%. As far as I can tell.
I'm leaning Chukagian because I like her camp better, and it's all I really have to say about that. I mean...
So I'm leaning Chukagian off of... Alexis Davis got hit with every single right hand that Liz Carmouche threw. Every single one.
Wow.
The problem is Chukagian doesn't throw a lot of heat. Like, she doesn't throw bombs like Liz does. So I don't know if it's going to have the same effect.
Yeah.
Like, if you're just throwing a lot of pitter-patter 1-2s at Alexis Davis, I'm not sure she won't just walk through those and put you in the clinch and put you on the ground.
Yeah.
And that could be a serious problem for Caitlin, but I'm going to go Caitlin off a very, very rough decision.
All right.
I'm not happy about that. I hope I'm wrong.
Either way, we want to see exciting fights, so...
That's why I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah. So next up, we have John Makdessi, a Canadian, going up against
San Diego Zone.
San Diego Zone.
In a way.
Great Britain Zone. England Zone. Ross Pearson, the real deal.
That's right.
John Makdessi has a professional record of 15 wins, 6 losses. In his lightweight bout, Ross Pearson has a record of 20 wins, 14 losses. John Makdessi, last time we saw him, had a unanimous decision victory over Abel Trujillo, which at this point, who hasn't? Just kidding. He had a cancel bout against Sage Northcutt, which was supposed to happen a year ago.
Also, that Trujillo fight was kind of weird. We'll talk about it, but...
and then before that, the wheel kicks her around the world besides Terry Edom against Edson Barboza.
Edom, but yeah, you almost nailed it.
Yeah, wait, what did I say?
Edom.
Edom? Oh, Edom.
Edom sounds like the world's worst burger joint.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, Terry Edom sounds like the world's worst burger joint owner.
Yes.
Terry Edom.
Shouts out to
Edoms.
Shouts out to Ice Cube driving by.
That's right.
Land of Anada.
Did I tell you guys that I recently sponsored the Hells Angels to show up for during this podcast?
Yeah, they're out here.
They don't like my sponsorship.
So Land of Anada pretty much kicked his fucking head off in that fight. For that he beat Muay Thai fighter Mehdi Baghdad. Then he fought Yancy Medeiros. Lost.
Yeah, you forget how long he's been around, right?
Yeah, Makdessi's been around since 2008. Yeah, he's a vet. Ross Pearson's also a vet.
Yeah, been around for a long time as well. Last 2 losses were tough.
Oh, he broke his losing streak, so he beat Mizuno Hirota unanimously this past February. Look who he fought 4 times already. He fought Dan Hooker, who clearly is looking... Well,
crazy
this whole goddamn division is
How
contenders.
do you give somebody Dan Hooker off a split decision loss to Stevie Ray Vaughan?
Yeah, Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Which I like Stevie Ray, but no, you don't give them Dan Hooker next if they lost a split decision off that. No,
you don't go from dying in a plane crash to saying, "Oh, let's go ahead and give you Dan the Hangman Hooker."
Well, also when you lose a decision to Will Brooks, you also don't give them Jorge Masvidal. Like Jesus,
The matchmaker had something out for fucking Ross Pearson.
Is it Mick Maynard? Mick Maynard's the lower divisions, right?
Isn't Ross Pearson the guy who married one of the ring girls, former ring girls? I swear to God, that's a thing.
You would know better than me on that.
I know someone said that on Reddit. Like, it was one of his fights. Like, oh, there's Ross's wife. And it showed her, like, in the crowd. I think it said, like, former... I swear to God. It's
possible.
Like, well, good for him. Maybe that's why Dana got jealous.
I'm sure he's not bad off, you know what I'm saying?
I know. But, you know what I mean? Like, someone...
Oh, you're saying Dana... Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying.
He's like, that was mine, Ross. And now you're going to pay.
Oh, pussy play.
All right, Mick. Let's set something up for him. That's not in his favor. That's...
R.I.P. Joe Silva when things used to be... adult, even though he treated every fighter like trash.
So, and I'll be honest, I don't really know how to actually kind of really
Dude,
see
I'm
this
very torn on this one.
I almost want to say draw, but that never works. So
it never works. Although, scroll down, don't they both have a draw?
Oh, you mean like just look at their record?
Oh no, just Makdessi has a draw, right?
No, they don't. Neither of them do.
Oh shit! I thought one of them did. I mean, to be fair, yes, that's how I think this is going to go. It's going to be, who do you think edges out this decision?
I think it's going to be, like, shitty clinch exchanges, and then it goes, dude, I don't know.
I mean, Makdessi did recently change from Rufus Sport to TriStar. Or from TriStar to Rufus Sport, rather. If that gives you any kind of influence. And Pearson, of course, still down in Alliance.
So basically, Makdessi's going to be a karate or kickboxing kind of stuff.
Well, so Makdessi originally had a Taekwondo style already, and now he's transitioning to Rufus Sport, which has done pretty well for guys like Paul Felder. And who's the? I mean, of course, the Pettis brothers.
Pettis brothers, Woodley.
He wasn't Taekwondo though.
Formerly Northcutt. Yeah. All right. I don't know who to pick, man.
You can go draw, or you can just...
I'm going to go draw.
Or you can flip a coin.
No, that's a fucking... No, draw's
or a
bullshit,
bottle
though,
cap.
because that's like just saying I want
Flip
a
a bottle
loss.
cap, then.
Yeah.
Well, what kind of bottle cap you flipping?
It almost looks like Trumer pills, but it's not.
Okay, you should get a better bottle cap then.
Oh.
Sounds like Miller High Life bottle cap.
Guinness, here we go.
Alright, flip it.
Alright, so the Guinness logo is piercing.
Obviously.
Closer to
Obviously.
Ireland's closer to Great Britain
Yep.
than the United States, so that was like the worst fucking flip of all time. Let me try that again. I think I'm hesitant because I don't want to like bang off the TV or some shit.
It's fine. Let it bang. Let it bang, bro.
Alright, so I'm going Mac Desi.
Alright. I am also going Mac Desi.
Cool. And I'm going
I want to go Ross, but yeah, man. I just have... it's hard not to pick against Mike Desi in this matchup just because of how Mike Desi is able to stay on the outside, throw in enough kicks in volume, and he looked pretty good in his last outing. I mean, they both did, but Ross Pearson's last outing was against Mizuto Hiroshi, I think it was. So, I'm definitely winning Mike Desi.
So next up, we have a fight between a returning Incredible Hulk impersonator.
Wait, but it should be noted, Mac Desi did
Oh, that's right.
eye poke and dick kick Trujillo in the first round in their last fight. So, let that be noted in that last decision he won. Anyway, keep going.
So we have Russian Godzumirad Antigalov.
Yep.
Is he from Dagestan? I don't know.
Goddamn right he is.
Yeah. Makachakla.
Yeah,
I
go over
I
the
think
flag.
that's it.
I think you're...
Well, this is a Russian flag, but yeah, I think he's in Dagestan. It's somewhere there. I think it's in Makachakla. I don't fucking know. Anyways, I remember he's fighting this guy.
He's a caucus member, probably.
Yeah. This guy
Is it part of the Caucasus?
Yes, it is. It's that just little area of Russia.
Is that a real thing? I think I just made that up right now.
I think you made it up, but it's...
I'm a big fan of it.
It sounds right.
Yo, I love the Raucous Caucus.
The Incredible Hulk...
By the way, have I told you guys my new band name?
I think we heard it.
Alright, keep going.
He was like, yes, you see his band name.
Yeah.
So Ion Kutalaba...
Band name and band name. I get what you did.
Anarchy 99.
We kill you for your name. It's funny, joke.
God damn it, it reminds me of that fucking stupid scene from Triple X where Xander Cage is talking to the Russian guy and they like quote that song from they quote Anarchy Burger from the Vandals. And they're like, oh, I'm the greatest punk band ever. The Vandals, Anarchy Burger. It's like, what the fuck is going on? First your quote, you got fucking Matt Hoffman going, oh, you did a Triple X 390 something double backflip, and then you're talking about the fucking Vandals? Fuck you.
Well,
And then video games.
One of those things are a lot like the other. It's
Yeah,
all
you know what I'm saying? Like, they're just like, let's throw all these references for all these teenagers.
No, there was one asshole that was a big fan, and
I
he
know.
was like, I know what I
That's
should
the
do.
point.
I should get a Tony Hawk reference and a Matt Hoffman
Oh,
reference.
evidently Tony Hawk is in that movie. God damn it.
Yeah.
Anyways, the Hulk, Ion Kutalaba, and they're like, why is he called the Hulk? Maybe that's 'cause
E1,
E1?
according to John Anik.
Thank you, John Anik. This guy paints himself green every time and doesn't give a fuck. I think
also
he's...
a scary man.
Yeah, I think he's coming off a USADA suspension, right?
Oh, you're probably right.
Yeah, he's back. Oh, yeah. He's been gone for a year.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I forgot
I
he was
think-
off of USADA suspension. No, you're right, because everyone... No, wait, that was Luis Enrique Silva, right?
I thought this guy was suspended for USADA too.
I thought it was Luis Enrique Silva who
Watch the
dressed
video
up
like
as the
this.
Hulk.
E1. No, this is definitely the Hulk guy.
There's two of them, is what I'm saying.
No, I think it's just one.
Really?
Yeah, it's just this motherfucker whose nickname literally says the Hulk.
I think
I'm
Luis
fucking-
Enrique Silva's...
Yeah.
Oh,
6
you're right,
months.
you're right. Oh, no, his was for ozone therapy. Look up, no. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Kutalaba. He's the only Hulk motherfucker. He's weird. This is him. This is this
Okay.
guy. Yeah. The Hulk.
Oh, you're right. Luis Enrique
This
Silva's
guy.
nickname is just the Hulk.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's
This
on
looks
steroids.
uncomfortable, dude. Like, I don't know.
He also got popped for ozone therapy, which I don't know if you know what that is. It's basically like blood spinning.
I was gonna say, like, you get extra oxygen to your blood.
Yeah,
like a richer
exactly.
version of oxygen
Yeah,
to your
they
blood.
pull blood.
So this is him, like,
Yeah.
when he's Bruce Banner, and clearly then he looks the same.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not a good look when you're trying not to.
I just feel like
fail
that.
a drug test.
Dude, that's why he did ozone therapy, because all that paint was fucking up getting oxygen into his skin. And he's like, oh wait, I need to refresh the oxygen because I keep painting myself.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Not at all. That makes zero sense what I just said. Don't listen to me.
It's probably why the 125er Bibelatov did it too.
Oh yeah. Anyways, let's get to this fight. So we have Gadzhimurad and Tigulov. This is This is a light heavyweight bout. Okay, we need more life in the 205 division.
This is a weird fight.
So, Antigulov, last time we saw him, he rear naked choked out.
He fucking smashed.
The Dane, Joachim Christensen. Before that, he beat Marcos Rogério de Lima and Musa Makhmudov. The Hulk guy, Cutelaba. Oh, he beat Luis Henrique da Silva. The punches, holy fuck, 22 seconds in the first round. So he murdered that guy. For that, he lost the decision to Jared Cannonier.
That's why I was mixing him up. Last time we saw him was against the other dude that I was referencing.
Alright. Yeah, I'll just say this. This guy is Russian, and Tigulov, and he looks tough as shit. Yeah. I'm going Antigulov. I got to go with the grappler. I don't know. Like, this Hulk guy, clearly he's called... Well, look at that, though. Oh, my... Wow. Well, holy shit. You see the trend why he's called the Hulk.
Yeah, it's all first-round finishes.
Yeah, no, I'm going with the Hulk. Yeah, I mean, this guy might get his back or his neck, but I feel like this guy's be swanging and banging H-Town style.
Fair,
he's
dude.
He's just going to clip him. He's just going to Hulk out, or I don't give a fuck.
It's a tough pick either way.
And then he's going to get popped again.
I'm going Antigulov sub.
I mean, realistically, you're right.
It's either first or second round, but I'm going Antigulov
I ain't even
sub.
going TKO. I'm going straight KO.
Fair. If he's going to win, that's how it's going to happen, for sure.
So you're going Antigulov.
Yeah, I'm going Antigues.
Via the sub.
Probably RNC.
RNC, to be specific. Next up, we have, moving along, a featherweight bout.
Weird fight.
Between Hakeem Dawodu, who's Canadian, and American Austin Arnett. What are the odds on...
good
What are the odds on
Pearson
McDessie?
So, we did Dustin Ortiz. No, we didn't. We did Ortiz, Nicolau, right? Ortiz underdog?
Yeah.
Chukagian is a minus 145 favorite over Alexis Davis, who's plus 135. Ross Pearson, plus 180 underdog against a minus 195 John McDessie. And Jan Cutelaba and Gadzhimurad and Tigulov are both a minus 105.
Dead even
pick.
Cool. So
this next fight, not dead even. I'm going to go ahead and tell you a secret. One of these fighters is plus 505 and the biggest underdog on this card. I'll let you decide who.
Arnett is the underdog?
Sorry. Not this fight. Different fight.
Oh.
The fight after this.
Okay, so this fight, I have no idea how to pick. Dawodu. This is his second UFC fight ever. Austin Arnett this is his second. Okay. So, yeah, wow, this is dead even, probably. What are the odds on this? Because I don't know who to pick.
One of them is plus 335, and the other one is minus 375.
Okay, so
I'm not going to tell you who's who.
Arnett is probably favored because he lost on the Contender Series. I don't know. Yeah, and this guy only has one UFC fight. I don't know. But he's also Canadian, so he can be the favorite, too, because it's home field advantage in their eyes. I don't know.
Do you want me to give you some more info?
Sure.
So, first off, I'm not sure why this fight's on the,
Arnett's the favorite. He's out of Sick Jitsu with, Kiesa and those motherfuckers, right?
Is he?
That's what it says.
That's funny.
I'm going with him. He's probably the favorite.
So, I'm curious why this is not on the prelims, but Marcos versus Ansarov and McDessie versus Pearson is on the prelims.
Yeah.
Like, I don't... Do you at all understand why this would be this case?
No idea. No fucking clue.
The only reason I could figure is that they think Duwadu is going to knock out...
Oh, so it is
Arnett.
home field advantage? God damn it.
Well, so the odds right now... Austin Arnett is a plus 335 to a minus 375 Duwadu. And I don't fucking understand those lines. I get that Duwadu hits hard as shit and throws hard as shit. Duwadu also has almost gotten finished in his last 2 fights, back-to-back. Very close.
Yeah, I'm going to go Arnett via sub. And this one, the fact that he's out of sick jitsu, and they like to take people's necks.
Okay.
That's all I have for it, because to be honest, I have no interest in this fight. I know it's mean, but hopefully it's a good fight. But
I mean, so here's
not trying to be like Eugene and doing a care don't care.
Here's my thoughts on this is like, Duwadu got dropped bad, super bad in his last fight against Daniel Tamer, and then had good sub defense until he got fucking guillotined almost unconscious.
Duwadu?
No, by Henry. Sorry, Daniel. Or if you scroll down on Duwadu. Yeah. If you scroll, is Daniel Henry? Danny Henry.
Yeah.
He got subbed almost unconscious by that dude after getting clipped. And that dude's last win was against Daniel Tamer. He has some Taekwondo kicks and some power cooks against Seiler, but he had pretty rough wrestling and okay jiu-jitsu defense and scrambling. Seiler and him just kept both rocking each other back and forth.
Not gonna lie, I almost read that as Dennis Seaver.
But yeah, overall, like, I don't know, man, because the problem is while dude is super vulnerable, so is the other dude. Like, I don't really have a preference in this one necessarily. I guess I'm going to go Arnett via TKO. I guess. Late. I guess. It really depends on whether or not Duwadu puts him out in the first 3 minutes. If he doesn't, I think he probably puts his chin up and gets bombed on with like a 6-piece straight combo and then struggles to catch back up after that. But it's a weird fucking fight.
So, next up, we have Dagestan, Russia's own Islam Makhachev, record 15-1, versus Canadian Cajun Johnson, and which is probably his last fight in UFC, because of what he did to Dana White yesterday.
What did he do to Dana White yesterday?
Oh, you didn't see?
No.
During the weigh-ins, he went to give him a handshake into the old psych, and did the whole of it, and Dana was not having that.
I bet.
And also, Cajun Johnson is very involved with
Project Spearhead. And so, also,
please, let's give a moment of silence for Cajun Johnson's last fight in the UFC if he loses.
To be fair to Cajun Johnson, they're throwing him the worst possible style matchup that he could possibly get.
By the way, is why I'm picking Makhachev.
Yeah, you and me both. I have him in fantasy.
Yeah, this is
I love Cajun
be,
Johnson.
I think this could be a violent decision.
Don't get me wrong.
I'm trying to look at Cajun Johnson. By the way, he's a very talented fighter. 23, 12, and 1.
I also love his podcast.
He beat Stevie Ray Vaughan last time out this year in March.
Yeah, Raging Cajun podcast is great. But
he got choked out. He's only got choked out a couple times. So yeah, I think he's going to lose a violent decision to Dagestan's own Islam Makhachev.
Yeah.
The last time we saw him...
He killed
he murdered
got me so many points.
Beat Nicholas, beat Chris Wade, yeah, Makhachev via violent decision.
I'm gonna go Makhachev. I'll go decision as well. Cajun Johnson. I really, really like that dude. I think he's very cool and very funny. His podcast is fantastic. They're feeding him the worst style matchup, and it sucks, man. They're Leslie Smithing the shit out of him right now. Which they tried to do with Aspen Ladd, but Aspen Ladd wasn't having any of it, so... Leslie Smith wasn't having any of it, so...
So next up we have Canada's
This is
Jordan
an interesting fight. I'm very back and forth on this.
American Alex the Great White Morono. Jordan Mina's record of 30 wins, 12 losses, a veteran of the sport. Against Alex Morono's 14-4.
As is Jordan Mean's father, who fought, I think he had
Assaulted
2 fights in the
someone, right?
last year
Yeah.
also. No, I mean pro fights in the last year also. On top of assaulting people.
Okay.
I believe it was a hooker, but I'm not positive.
Well,
Don't quote me on that.
He's like the slap chop guy and the ShamWow guy. Vince Shlomi beat up hookers and he's in prison.
No, I'm going to hold off on that comparison until I do my research.
Yeah. Jordan Mean won his last fight, December, against Eric Silva.
Yeah.
Former juicer.
Looked good, actually. Looked very good against him. Used a lot of feints to draw big strikes from Eric and then would bomb on him afterwards.
Before that, he had a tough 3-loss skid against Bilal Muhammad, Emil Mek, and Thiago Alves. We have Alex Morono, the Great White. Last time we saw him, he choked out Josh Brickman.
Yep.
Lost close decision to Keita Nakamura. No contest to Nike Pierce.
I don't remember that fight.
Don't remember that at all.
Maybe that's the eye poke one.
Fought a war, I believe. I remember this fight against James Muntasri. Excuse me. I don't know. This guy's a grappler. Oh yeah, you know what? I'm going my boy Alex Morono
Via
sub.
Yep, me too.
Looking at the trend here. Wow, Jordan Mean fought Tyron Woodley.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
that's the thing. Is Jordan Mean's been around. Keep scrolling, dude.
Even Cyborg Santos.
You got a long way to scroll till you get to
Josh Berkman.
You got a long
Jason
way.
High.
Keep going. There's a long list of names.
Man. Wow. 2000. Rory McDonald was his first fight in
2006.
MMA.
No, not true. Because keep scrolling, it goes on. It was his first pro fight.
Robin Williams. Just kidding. Robin Williams. Yeah. Roy McDonald. How fucking young was he? Into like 19?
I think Rory was 2-0 at the time. So yeah, he would have been like maybe
2006.
Scroll all the way down.
That was 12 years ago. He's 17?
No, scroll all the way down. I'll tell you. Yeah,
That must have...
2006.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
He was not even 18. Can you fight legally under 18?
Yeah,
I guess in Canada.
Yeah, if you get shit signed off in Rumble of the Cage, which no longer exists,
insane.
you probably can.
Wow. Yeah, because he wasn't 18 until 2007, so that's pretty nuts.
Jordan Mean's been around for a minute.
Yeah, but so is Rory McDonald fighting under 18.
Yeah.
It's a minor. That's nuts.
I agree.
I didn't even know they let minors fight.
Yeah.
Against adults.
Yeah.
Oh, no, why would I say that, though, when I know Wonderboy Thompson got his name Wonderboy because he's 15, knocked out 33-year-old.
Well, that's in, like, fucking pajama karate.
But yeah, I know. But you know what I mean.
But, like, there's also been 16-year-old MMA fighters that have been around for a while.
So, like, would you consider it embarrassing getting knocked out by a kid, or just that dude's fucking good? I would just say that dude's just fucking good. Yeah.
Also, especially when they go on to be almost champ. Or champ, depending on what organization you're talking about.
Arguably number 1/2 in the world.
Yeah. Arguably.
Yeah.
Nah, like 1, 2, 3, somewhere in there.
Yeah, he's top 3 for sure. So we're both going Morono. I'm going by sub. Do you see sub as well?
Yeah, I'm going sub. The only reason mostly is because of age. I just can't pick Mean. I want to.
If this goes
based
decision,
on footage,
can you see Canada giving?
Oh, if this goes to decision, he wins it regardless. But no, I mean Morono wins it regardless. The only way Mean wins this fight is if he finishes it early, because from what I've seen on footage, at least, he tends to fade pretty clearly as time goes on. Hey, yeah, there you go.
There we go.
But could Jordan Mean fuck him up in the clinch, especially with like tricky exchanges that he's good at?
Oh, by the way,
with like trips and elbows. Absolutely.
Interrupt. What are the odds on Johnson and Makhachev, real quick?
So Makhachev was the biggest favorite on the card.
Like plus 400.
Let me see where he's at. Right? No, 6 something.
Wow.
Oh, let me see exactly where he's at. Makhachev. Here, let me refresh this. Chupa Chew. Makhachev is currently sitting at minus 605 to a plus 505 Cajun Johnson. And Alex Morono is a plus 105 to a minus 115 Jordan Meehan.
Okay, so how about this next fight, which should be very good. Lightweight bout.
It is almost dead even, I'll give you a hint.
Okay. Alexander the Great Hernandez, the American, he's only 25. 9-1 record going up against the Quebec Kid, or I guess MMA Fighting was calling the Canadian Gangster. I was kind of confused.
He called himself Canadian Gangster recently.
Olivier Aubin-Mercier, 11-2 record. This dude cracked the top 15 just a couple months ago.
I made some good money off
Rankings be damned. I have him in fantasy this weekend.
I do too in the other league.
Alexander Hernandez made his UFC debut.
Killing Benil Dariush.
Last March, murdered him in 42 seconds. Really bad.
Fucking murdered him.
Really quick right... Was it a right straight? Yeah.
It was a straight.
Or was it a left? No, it was a left. It was a left.
I believe. Something like that.
OAM murdered Evan Dunham. Under a minute as well. So you see the trend here. These guys are killers. OAM being
but also veteran. The dudes that they just put away are
style matchups
older dudes, too.
They're older guys.
Who are hittable.
Here's the battle of the Young Bucks. Well, he's still young, 29, OAM. Tony Martin, Drew Dober, Tio Gotti, Carlos Tio Frejeda.
Mutanch.
Yeah. I'm leaning OAM. Fuck, I would have said via sub. This dude, though, Hernandez has some... but then again, OAM's at TriStar, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going OAM.
Me too.
I think this is almost too big of a step up. Well, not really, though, because he beat Benil Dariush, who's a tough motherfucker, too. That whole goddamn division is good.
Yeah. But I got OAM via decision.
I'm going to go decision as well.
Mostly just because I just think... As clean and as sharp as Hernandez looked in that fight... I can't just pick him off of a 42-second knockout of Benil Dariush. Can't do it. And OAM I've been high on for a while, and I've been picking for a while. And dude has very underrated wrestling game and very sharp striking. So I'm taking.
Let's see how excited Chris is for that fight. Just kidding.
That's right. I'm shaving my mustache as we speak, or everything but my mustache.
So next up we have
Canadian Gangster.
Yeah.
I'm putting on fanny packs.
Did you see that
punching
picture
maple trees
that MMA Fighting put up?
Yeah.
And it's like someone's like fucking cringe, bro.
I love it. I love OAM's gimmick.
It's like, dude, they're Canadian. They're nice. Who cares?
He's also hilarious. Have you seen the video of him breaking down the fanny pack that he gave away on a co-main event?
No, but I heard about it.
Where he's like pulling out mustache wax and like fucking shirts and all this shit. It's great. I love it.
So next up, we have a very good fight on this card.
This is a tough one to pick.
Former strawweight champion Joanna Jędrzejczyk going up against American Tisha Torres. As you remember, Joanna, her last two fights were against current champion Rose Namajunas. The first one where she got the first one where she tapped out via strikes. And the second fight was just kind of.
I mean, yes, she did, but also,
she got brutalized.
Ref could have helped on that one.
So, Rose Namajunas, the second time out, some people call it 49-46. I thought it was a 48-47. I think I gave 2 rounds to Joanna.
I would need to rewatch it, but
it was closer
in there.
Yeah.
But Rose definitely won.
Yeah, no, Rose won. I was like after watching that fight, I was like, oh, Rose won. I just
crazy. They both only have 2 losses professionally.
Yeah. Tisha Torres.
Tisha technically has more because of
last time we saw her lost the unanimous decision to Jessica Andrade, where she got thrown around.
Dumped.
She got ragdoll.
Yeah.
For that, she beat Michelle Waters. You get the idea of the strawweight. We
the last loss before that was to Rose.
Yeah, we don't really need to kind of get into this whole division's very competitive. I'll say right now, I'm picking Joanna. I think her striking's gonna just stand. She's gonna stay on the outside. Her clinch work is strong from her Muay Thai experience. I know Tisha's very strong as far as getting takedowns, getting the sweeps. However, Joanna is a lot taller and bigger than Tisha Torres, so she's just standing up, and I think she's going to use that and kind of widen her stance to kind of negate that for takedown defense. Takedown defense isn't great. I don't think it's
not bad
though. I really like Joanna in this fight. Just
Tisha's wrestling isn't like classic like fucking grinder.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, Tisha,
she mostly hits like
it's a 3-round
like
fight,
that.
and that's still why I'm mainly going with Joanna because her conditioning is still fantastic. And she's used to 5-round fights. You know? That's why I'm picking Joanna. I think it's gonna be a decision.
I think this is gonna be very, very, very close. I'm gonna go JJ also. Why am I going JJ? I guess because I think that she is going to be able to stifle a lot of Tisha's kicking game with just straight shots, and she's gonna come forward and pressure her the whole time. The only thing that makes me curious is to see if Tisha implements any kind of wrestling or clinch game. So I think if she does, that can make this fight very fucking interesting very quickly. Even if she's just grabbing a clinch and throwing out of it, like if she's like DCing where you just you grab an over under and then you're just throwing a giant hook over the top of it just to try and change up like the style. I think that is how Tisha, or deep takedown entries when JJ is getting aggressive and panicking and pressuring. So I do think JJ is going to come out pretty aggressive in this fight. Like if she can catch kicks and get takedowns, I think Tisha wins this, but I don't think she can do that consistently over time without getting lit up. So I'm going to go JJ, but man, this is a real test for both these girls, or both these women, I should say, because they've both been looking fantastic, and shit, man, this division doesn't get nearly the credit it deserves. I think this is going to be a very fun fight. Also, it'll be interesting to see how JJ deals with the kicks at Tisha. Because you would think most of them would be neutralized by Tisha being more of a TKD, like Taekwondo practitioner, in the style that she throws shit, like a lot of spinning back kicks or a lot of like step in kicks to the leg, stuff like that. But I'll be interested to see how this plays out for sure.
So this next fight realistically would be a main event on a lot of cards.
Should be.
This is Jose Aldo, featherweight GOAT, by the way.
Yeah. Hands down. Not even close.
It's his first non-title fight in fucking 9 years.
Exactly. That's why it's not even close.
Yeah. This is insane. And he's only 31. I fucking swear, I thought this dude was like 35, 36. Not even kidding.
He seems old because he's been around for so long.
Speaking of seems old, Jeremy Stevens, who's been in the UFC since like 2007.
Yeah.
He just turned
11 years.
Yeah, 32. Jeremy Stevens, of course, fights out of Alliance in San Diego. Jose Aldo still with his camp at Novo União in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro. Last time we saw Jose Aldo, he lost back-to-back championship fights against Max Holloway, where he got finished. He beat Frankie Edgar in the United Decision, UFC 200.
Super impressive.
Got knocked the fuck out by BK.
Should have been a rematch.
Yeah.
If anyone deserves a rematch of all time, so I don't buy Stipe's argument. It's like, yo, you're number 2 on that list forever, right? Because number 1 is Jose. Like, of the all-time deserved a rematch list, it's Jose forever.
Of course.
Forever. Not even close.
Jeremy Stevens, a couple years ago, was embarrassed by BK at that infamous press conference.
Yeah.
A little bit, because at that point, a lot of people
love that shit.
Casuals didn't know who Stevens was.
Yeah.
He did get BK back with the whole tweeting with a picture of his mom, which was great.
Right.
That was fantastic.
Plus, everyone on the actual dais was like, what are you talking about? That's Jeremy Stevens. It's just like new fans.
Look who he's fought in the past just year and a half.
You know what? Fuck year and a half. How about since 2014? Go ahead and go through that lineup.
He fought Darren Elkins, Cub Swanson, Charles Do Bronx Oliveira, Dennis Bermudez, current champion Max Holloway, Renan Barão, Frankie Edgar, Renato Carnero,
Moicano.
Gilbert Melendez, or Gibbler, excuse me, Reebok, Duho Choi, and Josh Emmett, who also hits fucking hard.
Yeah.
And Duho Choi.
Duho Choi.
He's fought 2 bangers and knocked them both
back
out.
to back.
In the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just going to say this. I'm going with Jeremy Stevens in this fight.
I mean,
mainly because of the fact that Aldo's been finished in 3 of his last 4 fights. And that is not good for your brain. Yes, Aldo hits hard as fuck too, which people overlook. Does he hit hard as Emmett? No. Stevens has a great chin. Well, maybe we don't know that because it's up to the fighter takes his shot. So excuse me.
Yeah, like he's blasted.
He's got a fucking great jab.
Sure, but
and 1-2.
But
I'm just going Stevens based on just his momentum. And
also, we should disclaim that we are biased as shit. We're drinking Thorn Street Brewing and talking about Jeremy Stevens, both of which are from San Diego. So
I'm honest right now. Even besides that, I would literally pick Stevens right now, just on the style match. I mean, this is the thing. If I'm picking Aldo, it's via decision, and he's gonna fuck him up with the leg kicks bad in the 3-round fight, and he's gonna score from the outside.
Yeah,
he's gonna hit with the 1-2 and the leg kicks.
If Aldo wins this fight,
he's gonna avoid Stevens' power shots. But just based on lately how Stevens fights with the pressuring, the coming forward, and just rip into the body and hit with those. I think he's gonna knock. Although I'm sorry, but he's gonna knock him out. It's gonna be bad, and I'm gonna feel really bad.
If Aldo wins this fight, it's with a jab, a leg kick, and a takedown.
Yeah, and there you go, take him down.
That's how he wins this fight. I also am picking Jeremy Stevens.
This is the thing.
I'm going probably knockout third.
Yeah. So this is the thing. If
I think Aldo fades is the problem nowadays.
If Aldo loses decision, he'll still fight. If he gets knocked out, do you call it or no?
He says
he won't call it. I think he'll move up.
He says he's like towards the end of his career and about ready to be done. Like, he says he is, like, that's another reason why I'm picking Jeremy in this.
Yeah.
He says he has, like, 2 or 3 fights left, and then he's just out.
Did you have TKO, KO? I know he has a chin. I don't think he's going to get slapped.
No.
He might.
I don't know. That difference is so slim that, like, I don't know. It depends on the ref.
It's not going to be some BK. It's not going to be some BK bullshit.
Yeah, I know, but is it Herb Dean or is it Mario Yamasaki? You know what I mean?
Well,
like, there's a big
Yamasaki,
difference between the two. You know what I mean? But I think it'll be a great fight. I also would not be surprised if Jose Aldo just jab leg kicked the shit out of Jeremy Stevens for a full 3 rounds and made everyone look like an asshole. Yeah. But that weight cut looked real rough on the scales today, which is another reason why I'm going Jeremy.
So, the main event of the evening, a sequel, a second fight, a rematch. I don't know if you even call it a grudge match, kind of, not really.
So I was actually so I remember when this first fight happened, I was actually walking with you to your house to watch the rest of this because it was happening as we were walking there.
Oh, is that when I met you in front of the gate?
Yeah,
like,
the gate. Yeah,
like,
you're like, fucking Alvarez Poirier is happening right now. We need to hurry.
And we
walked
made
in
it
as
right
it
during
happened.
the interview. No, during the interview or during the intros. Yeah, but we made it. So, yeah, this fight. So we'll just cover just So Eddie Alvarez, former lightweight champion, he's one of the lightweight goats. He really is, based on just who he's beaten.
And the amount of...
Just in MMA.
Not only that, but the amount of, like, range of promotions he's fought for is incredibly impressive.
He had a Bellator belt, he had a UFC belt.
Fucking Bovada he fought in Costa Rica.
We've gone over his resume before.
We did in this episode earlier.
Yeah, so last fight he beat Justin Gaethje, which is no small feat.
No, especially the way he did it with those fucking body hooks. Like,
he was getting fucked up in that fight too.
It says knee and punches was the finish, but it was those fucking death hooks to the body.
Yeah. Dustin Poirier, which is why they're running this back. It was a no contest. Dustin, I would say, was getting the better of him near the end of that fight.
The entire first part.
I don't even know what happened. Did he take down Dustin and then he just illegally kneed him? I can't remember how that happened.
It was like a scramble, and then Dustin ended up against the cage, had hands down, and then Eddie started throwing knees.
Dustin the Diamond Poirier, who's only 29 years old.
Whoa! Just realized Dustin Poirier is the same age as me. Actually, he's a month older than me. Less than a month older than me. Oh my god, I've done nothing with my life, you guys.
He's been fighting since 2009.
I don't appreciate that scrolling, Chris. I consider that nothing short of an attack on my character, and I don't appreciate it.
His last win was also against Justin Gaethje.
Also has had 2 wins since Justin Gaethje.
Yeah.
Since Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah. He also got fucked up by Justin Gaethje. But again, who doesn't get fucked up by Justin? Who doesn't go to war against Justin Gaethje?
I mean, that's how you...
I feel like almost if you agree to fight Justin Gaethje, it's almost like you're like, I might lose, but
you have to eat damage to fight Justin Gaethje. It's not possible not to.
Yeah. Yeah, we all thought Alvarez kind of broke his jaw or broke something in his mouth because of his face. It was bad. Yeah, he looked fucked up. So did Poirier. His leg was fucked. His quad
leg was
all purple. Yeah,
but he came back in that fucking 3rd round.
Justin Poirier before that
or 4th round
defeated Anthony Pettis.
Because he was fucked in that late 3rd round. I had Gaethje in that fight going into it, and I was like, oh, I think I might have this. And then Poirier comes out in the 4th on fucking fire and lights him apart.
What's crazy is this Michael Johnson fight that happened in September 2016. That was a great fight. It's crazy the career trajectory that both of these fighters took. You get Poirier...
It was the opposite way, yeah.
Yeah, you get Michael Johnson, who had to have the fight against Gaethje.
One of his best performances, too, was that fight.
He had to welcome Gaethje, loses that, and... Johnson, I still think is a talented fighter, but he's now a featherweight, which is... I still don't understand how he makes that weight, and I never will. But then again, I will never understand how Max Holloway makes featherweight.
That's why a perfect reason why we need a 65.
But then again, we'll never also understand why James Vick makes lightweight. So fucking 165, please come.
Yeah.
And Max Holloway, please go to 155. Please. Please, 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 please. You need to.
I would like to see it, for sure.
Especially barring your current health situation. Anyways, I'm going to say it right now. My pick for this fight is Dustin Poirier. I really like him in this fight. I like his boxing. His takedown defense is good, barring he's very good with jiu-jitsu. I think Alvarez, if he's going to win, is going to have to rip a lot of
excuse me, it's Thug-jitsu.
Thug-jitsu. Thank you for the correction. I think if Alvarez is going to win this fight, his cardio is good. He's been in 5-round fights. More so than Poirier. I know Poirier's had... Poirier looked great in condition against Gaethje, so he looks great too. So that's not really...
They both had tough fights against
Either way, Alvarez is
Alvarez
is going to have to basically kind of rip shots to the body, I feel like, and secure some takedowns against at least...
Yeah. That's how he wins this fight, is he Anthony Pettis.
I actually don't see a finish. Well, no, that's not true. This is tough. I am still picking Poirier. I'm just trying to think if it's a decision... No, you know what? I think he does put away Alvarez late. I think round 5. It's going to be like near the end of the fight. He just puts him away.
That would be a crazy fight if they go 5 rounds. Could you imagine? I'm going to go similar. I'm going to go Poirier round 3.
Yeah. That's probably more realistic.
I just have a feeling that Poirier is too sharp and too young and too fresh to be able to... for someone like Eddie to keep up with in the deep water.
This is the thing.
Also, I think Eddie cuts a lot more, and Eddie has taken a lot more damage.
100%. This is the thing. So, after this, Poirier wins. Clearly, he gets the next title shot, not named BK, barring his whole situation, right?
Or named BK, depending on the situation. Yeah, no.
That's what I mean. Like, if BK doesn't fight Khabib, then it's clear it's Poirier. And even Khabib addressed that months ago.
Yeah, I don't know who else you put in there.
It's one of the others.
Unless it's Tony. Tony's
yes. See, I've already disrespected Tony.
Tony's the magic factor.
He can't come back this year. There's no way, right?
I also don't want Tony to come back straight to a title fight. Just because because of his injury.
I don't know. If he's good to go...
I guess. No, you're right. You're right. Dude. If he's good to go, he's good to go.
He deserves that shit. 100%.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. He does.
Hardly more so than Khabib.
And he
But
is
Khabib's a
looking
champ.
very good on weird.
Started
on
fucking
his
doing
weird,
some breakdancing wearing a Deadpool hoodie.
Yeah,
He clearly is
it's a
mobile.
good. It's a good
If
point.
I were to predict the chain of events that happens, I think Poirier wins. I don't think BK is cleared by the end of the year to fight.
I think BK is clear by the end of the year to fight. I don't think he signs a contract by the end of the year.
That's right. Oh, he'll be like, "I'm back. Give me more money, Daddy Dana," and then like, well, and then just stall till 2019.
You mean Daddy Endeavor?
Or
'Cause
excuse
Dana
me,
has
my
no
son
control.
Dana.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Poirier wins. I think he fights Khabib at Madison Square Garden. He's gonna get his money. I could see him beating Khabib in that fight based on the stand up and his. I don't know, but he I don't know. Habib though is fucking crap. God damn it.
Yeah.
No.
Habib
Okay,
Poirier Habib Alvarez is
If I were to choose,
fire.
I think Habib beats Poirier.
Well, either one of them would
And
be
what
fire.
happens is thing in UFC hesitant. You get obviously BK would then fight Habib, could still have that rivalry, right? But if that doesn't happen, do they really try to do Tony Habib for like the 5th time?
I don't know, man.
Unless they're forced to.
I just
Unless they're forced to.
just want to see that fight so
Everyone
bad.
does.
But it'll never. Like, I'm convinced that fight will never happen because we can't have nice things in MMA. Like, we just can't.
Unless the only way
As fans of
the only
MMA,
way that fight happens is if it's like a 3-rounder non-title fight. That's it. And
No.
it's like very
even
underwhelming.
then, I feel like it'll still
No,
get
because it'd be a
broken.
main event. God damn it, it have to be a main event. Yeah, no, you're right. There's no way that's not a main event, and even in a non-title fight, that's always a main event fight.
Yeah.
Like, why do you think Justin Gaethje gets main event fights and he's never had to help? You see what I'm saying?
And
that's
it'll-
like, God damn it.
And
right.
it'll always be broken. Like,
Fuck.
that's one of those fights that, like, I would book, but I would also book a second person like
Of
James
course.
Vick
Oh, yeah.
behind it. Where you're like, hey, you're fighting this person, but whoever drops out gets 8 foot tall James Vick. So have fun. And then everyone's like, no, I'm good on that. I'm good on that fucking event. But yeah, man, I got Dustin Poirier, but ugh, I don't have a ton of confidence other than the fact that I love Dustin Poirier. To be fair, I love Eddie Alvarez too, but
Yeah.
I just think Dustin Poirier is looking way too sharp as of late for Eddie to keep up.
I need Poirier to win too.
Especially over time, especially with after the Pettis win.
If he
like,
wins,
Jesus.
I win fantasy.
Yeah, it should be interesting, man.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's right. You
Like, literally, if he wins, I win.
and if Stevens wins, guaranteed I win.
Oh, you have a shot then, too.
in my other league,
Oh, in your other league.
in the MMA community
That's right.
league. No, I have zero fucking shot in the league with you and Lawfitz.
Okay.
Well, you and Lawfitz are like 1-1 on the end, like 6 points away or
I
whatever.
think he's like 3 points ahead of me.
It's very small.
And he doesn't have a contract.
And he doesn't have much.
It's just
Yeah.
a flex.
So
So at most he gets 10.
you just have to hope he fucks his flex.
At least if Poirier survives 5 rounds, I get about 10. But see, I still need that
Main
difference.
event,
though.
but odds of fight of the night are high.
Oh no, it's bullshit. If he lasts and it's 5 rounds, he automatically gets 17. Because that's what happened with fucking Lawfitz 2 weeks ago. He had
Oh, yeah.
fucking Junior Dos Santos. And that
Oh,
fucking just
yeah.
ran him
If
like
it goes
18
decision,
points.
yeah,
Like, fuck
yeah.
you. Yeah, no. I'm golden, dude. Either way, he just needs to survive.
As long as he doesn't get like smashed early,
Yeah,
should
fuck.
do good. And then
Yes.
I'm gonna run the TMAC Season 1 league, and then we will be back for that next week, which we mentioned earlier. If you guys are interested, we have 1 whole slot left for the MMA Community League. So if you're interested in that, click the link in the description. You guys can check that out. Other stuff we have posted, we would love some fucking reviews on iTunes. I'm not gonna lie. I am very salty. And by salty, I mean, if we could get like 5 reviews on iTunes, that would be dope. Because I don't know how many you need to get reviews showing.
I don't know either.
I can't even shout out the people who are reviewing our show because we have so little reviews. So, if you guys could get on there and just...
I feel like it's a mindset where people get, like, app updates where it's like, how do you, like,
To be fair,
using
who
our
the
app?
fuck
and they're like,
uses
reviewing that?
iTunes also?
Yeah.
But iTunes like spreads to all the other stuff, so if you could do that, that would be greatly appreciated. Or review it wherever you're listening, and if you send us a screenshot or let us know, we will be happily read it on the show and give you a big shout out and Tell everyone where to find your shit, because we love our fans, man. Shouts out to Judo Bill. Shouts out to Chris, GFL, Gay for Longo. Shouts out to all the homies. That one dude who emailed us, what else was the name of? Mike? I think it's Mike.
I think it was Mike, yeah.
I think it was Mike.
He's like from Minnesota.
Sorry, but Mike, if that wasn't you, email me again and I'll correct it next week. But we will be back at some point, probably to do a recap. Maybe we'll see how we're doing.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of moving, literally.
If not,
as you guys can hear by the room noise, I have maybe a bed, a fan, and some laundry in this bitch right now. And I'm about to be moving out in the next week or so. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Probably after that, Chris and I will be over Skype or whatever. We'll probably use Google Hangouts or whatever.
Something like that, yeah. I think that worked out pretty well.
But we're both going to have legit mics. Chris is not going to be using his keyboard mic. 100% promise. Because I'm going to hook him up with my mic and I'm going to get a new one. So we will get that resolved, and then we will have some decent audio, so that way I don't have to make him drive 30 minutes every... 30 minutes if there's no traffic, I should say.
Yeah.
Every podcast. So look for that going forward. We will keep you guys updated. I will 100% be updating you on whatever San Diego beers are fantastic. Because I do know I'm a mile or so from Burning Beard, which is supposed to be a great brewery. So check that out. Look for that going forward. And anything you want to shout out, Jim?
Nope. Still, I'm actually literally working on just that 226 recap. I know it's kind of late because it's 3 weeks after. But
it's only
just
a year later.
Yeah, it's only a year later, but it's a fun little write-up I'm working on. Trying to make it kind of funny in a way, too.
Cool, man.
Or just entertaining.
Hey, whenever you get it.
And I think I'm going to do something about... I don't know if I need to, though, because it's kind of... Nah, I don't need to do anything about the whole rankings. Yeah, no. I was going to do something about Darren Till thing. That doesn't matter. That doesn't fucking matter. It is what it is.
Oh, the welterweight bullshit.
It doesn't matter. I mean, if the UFC did a tournament for light heavyweight, yeah, I don't know. Bellator's already entertaining us with the whole tournament stuff, so that's kind of fun.
So far.
Yeah.
We'll see how that plays out in the long run. Cool, man. Well, you guys can, as always, can find us on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can email the show, chris@thesoundofviolence.com or sovpod@gmail.com. Or you can hit us up through our website, which people have done before. We're always happy to hear from you. If you guys have podcast suggestions, shoot
them our way.
You can also just hit us up on Twitter, TSOVPod. That's where we talk to Judo Bill and a bunch of people. And I always enjoy it. You guys are always fucking sweethearts whenever I talk to you. And even if you're not, even if you have criticisms, let me know. I'm totally open to criticisms. I'm no Brendan Schaub. I don't just ignore that shit. So if you guys...
don't attack your character for
criticize. If you guys are like, oh my god, your chairs are so fucking squeaky. Or like, oh my god, how dare you drink so many IPAs on stream and nothing else. I'm open to all these kinds of criticisms and more, so feel free to tell me how fat I sound and tell
me how tired I sound all the time. Whatever you want to do.
That's right. Tell us how it sounds like we're recording inside a mosque, inside a cathedral, inside a cave, because of how much echo we have going this week. But
so what do you need next? The fucking Halo song? Oh, like echoing.
Exactly. You nailed it. Nailed it. Oh, man. All right. Well, on that note, like we say every week, if you guys have any questions or anything, hit us up. And we love you guys listening. We'll be back probably...
2 weeks from now, then?
No. Next week is...
Well, it is 227 next week.
Yeah, because we have the draft on Sunday, or on Saturday.
Which is tomorrow.
Oh, no, wait, there is no card next week, is there?
Oh, there's not? Oh, yeah.
Because that's why...
No, wait. No, next week.
No, there is. It's just not the 227 card.
Wait, what? I'm so confused now. Let me look
Pull it up.
I am so confused.
I am too now. Because I know for a fact that...
No, next week
you're
is
right.
the 4th, right?
You're right.
Yeah, next week is literally 227, dude. Saturday, August.
Right, because
4th.
tomorrow is the fucking
28th,
draft.
28th, yeah.
So a week from tomorrow is the
227
227 card.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So we will be back next week on Friday, probably.
Yep, Friday.
We'll do a brief recap, and we will do our
227 preview.
yeah, and talk about 227. So I look forward to that. And if you guys have any questions, you can hit us up. Chris, anything else you wanted to plug?
That's all I got for tonight.
All right, everybody. Well, go cheer on Jeremy Stevens. Go drink some fucking fantastic. What was it? Which one
It was
this?
Nelson IPA, something like that.
That's right. It's the Nelson IPA, or Got Nelson from Thorn Brewing. And until next time, everybody, go do something decadent. We out. Bye.